everybody. It's Brandon here at the Esports Company, and I'm here to recap this week's Division 1 and Division 2 Rocket League play. First, we have a Division 1 matchup between Shade Central and Carmichael's. Here we're looking at a play by Troy P. from Carmichael's. Boop! Over his head. That's going to be instant offense going the other way. They're going to boost down the field. He could go all the way. Score for J.K. Ray 5. Carmichael's takes a 1-0 lead in game 1 with that beautiful execution. But it wasn't enough as the Shade Panthers take the best-of-5 series 3-2 over Carmichael's. Next is a Division 1 matchup between California and Uniontown. A lot of aerial play in this game. Ball flying all over the place, up in the air. Nice hit off the wall. It could go in. It does. Score for California. What a beautiful play. California is going to sweep the best-of-5, 3-0 over Uniontown. Next is a Division 1 matchup between Forest Hills and Wimber. Quick goal right there by Pig B. Demolition. Boom. Up into the air, get it in front of the goal, make a play for me. He does. It's beautiful. That effort right there is going to give the Forest Hills Rangers the edge 3-0 over the Wimber Ramblers in the best-of-5 series. Lastly, for our Division 1 matchups, Gateway versus Bishop Guilfoyle. Ball flying off the wall, ball hitting everywhere. Goal! He slams it in, stuffs it. With the opposition there, Gateway wins 3-0. All right, looking at our Division 2 play, we have Laurel Highlands versus Shade. Ball flying all over the place. Laurel Highlands up 7-0. Yosita, ball up in the air like a balloon. Slam it in for me. The touch, the score, to take an 8-0 lead. Laurel Highlands will take that match 3-0 versus Shade in the best-of-5. Next is Penn Trafford versus Forest Hills in a Division 2 matchup. Scores 3-0, and they're already flying right out of the face-off. Here we go. Get the ball in front of the net, and good things will happen. Absolutely gorgeous execution. Penn Trafford takes it 3-0 over Forest Hills. Our final Division 2 matchup of the day is California versus Richland. We got a little play in the corner, ball off the wall on top of the goal. Then we're going the other way. Hit the boost for me, man. It's awesome. Going all the way into the goal. Scored. California takes it 3-0 over Richland. Looking at our standings on the Division 1 side, we have a tie for first place between the California and Forest Hills at 2-0. Greater Altoona, CTC, Gateway, and Penn Trafford, Richland all tied for second at 1-0. Shade sitting at 0-0, still waiting to play. Carmichael's, Westmont, and Uniontown sitting at 0-1. Bishop Guilfoyle and Wimber sitting at 0-2. Over on the Division 2 side, we have Laurel Highlands leading the way at 2-0. Gateway, Greater Altoona, CTC, Uniontown, Hollidaysburg, Penn Trafford all sitting at a cool 1-0. California sitting at 1-1. Forest Hills, Bishop Guilfoyle, Westmont, Hilltop all at 0-1. And Richland and Shade rounding it out at 0-2. Looking at our matchups for next week. Over on the Division 1 side, we have Carmichael's versus Wimber, Uniontown versus Shade, Gateway versus California, Penn Trafford versus Richland, and the Greater Altoona CTC Goats versus Wimber. Over on the Division 2 side, we have Westmont Hilltop versus Penn Trafford, Bishop Guilfoyle versus Gateway, Shade versus Hollidaysburg, and Forest Hills versus Greater Altoona CTC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tech High School series. We got another day of amazing Rocket League action for you. Starting us off here is going to be Carmichael's going up against Winber in a best of five series here. And let's have a quick look at the standings, right? Carmichael's coming into this one with an 0-1 scoreline, with Winber not having the best luck here, coming in with an 0-2 scoreline here currently in the standings. So both of these teams looking for their very first win. Winber, more likely so. Currently, they're facing an 0-3 loss here if they're not able to pull something off against Carmichael's. But second game, Uniontown versus Shade, was unfortunately rescheduled, so we will be skipping over that one. Moving on to Gateway going up against California Area for our second game at 5, and then at 5:45 we'll be having Penn Trafford going up against Richland. And to top it all off, it's going to be Greater Altoona going up against Westbound. So day filled with some amazing Rocket League action. Let's just get started into the very first series here. Once again, Carmichael's going up against Winber. The players to look out for: Carmichael's, they got somebody called Mikey S. And if you've been around for the Tech High School series Rocket League action, you know what that player is capable of. Over on the other side, we got WAHS Random, who has been, well, dominating the competition when it comes to the best of five series. But let's find out who comes out on top here. Let's find out which of these two teams will be taking the very first win here. Heading into this very first game, Carmichael's and Winber, like I said, the stakes are extremely high. And heading into this one, we can tell that the average ranks here for both of these teams come around anywhere to be diamond and platinum. So pretty high ranks here. So let's just get started. Heading on into game number 1, we got Carmichael's on the blue side with Winber heading on the orange. And oh my God, JK Rays almost had the very first goal here for Carmichael's, but gonna be moving on to the other side of the field here. Shot coming in from Winber does go wide. A demo coming in from Not Wyatt. We'll give some time here to Carmichael's, getting some space for themselves, maybe looking for a pass down center as well. Random cannot go for the save. It's JK Ray coming in clutch here for the Carmichael side, securing the very first goal for Carmichael's. The Winber defense so close to making that save, unfortunately. So close yet so far is the phrase that we shall be using here. 30 seconds into this one, Carmichael's are already up by 1. Mikey 5, the player to look out for so far, has been able to get that save. Troy, oh my God, he's tripping right in front of the goalpost. Mikey takes it into the corner. JK Ray has some time to work with, gets a 50 as well. Mikey is going to pick this one up off the sidewall, has a lot of boost to work with, puts this one onto the back of the net. JK almost makes the touch, but would you look at that? In the last 60 seconds, Carmichael's have applied so much pressure, and Winber, they're still looking for that very first breakaway. Mikey is going to pick this one up from the corner. Random, however, gets the intercept as well. 40 boost to his name. Can he get the shot on target? Not yet. JK Ray does miss as well, but Mikey's there to make the save. Opportunity for yet another shot coming in from Mikey as he takes it off the backboard, but the touch is a little too wide. And the double touch so close for Winber, or Carmichael's rather, who were just about ready to get that second goal. However, Winber holding on strong on that defensive side. Can they save this one? It's wide. Random should be able to pick this one up. Mikey picks up the intercept. JK Ray carrying the ball, sends it to the dribble to the other side. Will get the pass onto the midfield here, but the second man nowhere near. But Mikey is there to pick that intercept. Unfortunately, it's Nightmare right in front of the goal line, denying him the opportunity to score. We're almost half the way through. Carmichael's might just be looking for the second goal here, and they keep hitting the post again and again. Having a quick look at the scoreboard, we got Carmichael securing 6 shots, out of which they've only been able to secure 1 goal. So Winber doing pretty well on the defensive side, but they still need a goal in order to equalize this game. Well, this might be the breakaway that they needed. Pinching it off Mikey will give them some space to work with. It's Nightmare. Octane in hand, trying to 50 it past one. Does manage to fake it away, but Mikey manages to come out on top. Has possession, trying to dribble through. Gets the 50 as well, sending it onto the backboard. JK Ray is up for it. Can he read the play? Almost does, but he ends up sending it a little too high there, Troy. Not being able to pick it up soon. But we got Mikey. Now going to be putting a shot on target off the backboard, and once again hits it into the corner every single time, coming so close to making that double touch happen, but so far once again. But Mikey this time is gonna get what he wants. Goes up high into the air, the softest of the touches, pinches it with the enemy player to send that one into the orange goalpost. And yes, that does seem to be the case here. Winber seem to be experiencing some amount of lag here, so we will probably have that fixed for the next game. Internet can be a bit of an issue sometimes for any of these players, but I believe the ping issue has been resolved as we head right back into the game. 90 seconds still remaining, a 2-goal lead for Carmichael's pretty much intact. But Winber, they're looking for the breakaway. Can they find it? It's Mikey trying to apply more pressure towards the orange net. JK Ray puts this down center. Nightmare might just be able to pick that one up. Unfortunately, not close. Troip sends it a little too wide there. Mikey in the corner. Gonna be going up high. Goes for the 50. Nightmare manages to slip away, but once again, defense is not what's gonna get you goals here. Sure, they're gonna stop goals from happening, but even that seems a little far-fetched at the moment. 40 seconds remaining. Winber, you need that first goal, and you need it right now. Pinching it off the corner. Got JK Ray picking this one up. Oh, pretty dangerous there. Taking it across his own net, but manages to beat two players. Has some boost to work with. Will he be able to catch the ball there? Still manages to do something with it. 30 seconds. Troip off the backboard. Shot opportunity for Carmichael's to take this to 3 goals here in game 1. Denied by Winber. Keeping it close, but with 20 seconds remaining, time is of the essence here. Winber, if they do not secure a goal right now, they are not gonna be taking this game home. It seems like Carmichael's might just be able to take goal number 3 right about now as Mikey puts this one into the top left corner with 5 seconds remaining. Game number 1 is pretty much secured by Carmichael's. Five seconds remaining in this game. Let's see if we can get a consolation goal for the Winber side, but it seems like that isn't the case. Carmichael's are gonna be sending almost another one onto the back of the orange net, but taking the first game by style. And who else but Mike's 5 taking the MVP with 500 points to his name. That is 200 more than the top Winber players. So this guy, 8 shots, 1 save, 2 goals. What an absolute mad lad here, coming in from the Carmichael side. Random has 3 saves to his name, but once again, he still needs a bit more on the offensive side if he wants to take this game. So only the first game here in this best of 5 series. Still plenty of time for Winber to try making a comeback. Carmichael's throughout the game were able to perform such amazing communicated plays, going for the passes off the ceiling, off the sidewall as well, making perfect shots on target, and it was all about applying pressure continuously here on the offensive side. That's what got Carmichael's the 3 goals, and Winber being able to defend them but not being able to make the counterattacks happen is what resulted in that 0 scoreline. But going into this next one, Winber feeling much confident than the last games. Let's hope we shall see a more aggressive Winber here, who excel in defense as well as in the offense. Alright, first kickoff going in favor of Carmichael's as we see Random picking it off from the corner. Takes it back to the midfield, doesn't maintain possession though, so that gives Mikey the time he needs to send this midfield. JK Ray gets it past 2, isn't able to pick up the control. Troy Might just be able to pick this one in the corner, looking for the pass down center, which he does get, but unfortunately, will be struggling to make that connected shot. Trying to put in another, but it is gonna be Winber still managing to make ends meet here, sending them back onto the blue side. We got Nightmare. Still has a lot of boost to work with. JK Ray eliminates him from the field. 60 seconds into this game here, Winber definitely performing a lot better, but they need to head onto the offense here because continuous pressure from Carmichaels has been hazardous before, and what's to say it won't be hazardous again. Troip manages to get that 50. JK Ray puts this one up high. Can he carry it through though? Ooh, looks for the Mustang, trying to be as fancy as he possibly can. However, Random goes on to the other side. We got Troip trying to control this one. Mikey, good passing play here coming in from Carmichaels. Almost transition it into a goal, and a bit of an own goal opportunity there missed by Winver. But that would be sent right back into the corner with Nightmare. There's a lot of space to work with. Only needs to be 2 and has a lot of boost as well. Momentum in his favor, but he needs this to go down center, which it does not. And Winver, much better showing this time around, spending so much time on the offense. Unfortunately, could not make the goal happen, but this is where it starts right there. Start applying pressure, and with pressure comes goals. Mikey, plenty of space going up high onto the ceiling here. Is going to be looking for a pass over to JK Ray. However, neither could connect, and Troip with a bit of a pinch onto the midfield. Random is there to pick this up. Can he get the double? It is so unfortunate. Both of these teams looking for so many double touches, and yet not all of them connecting. But look at that. That was pretty close here coming in from the Carmichael side, but that is half the game gone with Winber managing to secure the 0-0 scoreline. So much better performance up until now, but they still need a goal to break that momentum that Carmichaels has carried on from the previous game. It's Random up in the air, plenty of boost to work with, goes for the flip reset, and you cannot get anything better than that. Takes the shot right onto the back of the blue net, and that is the first and the most amazing goal coming in from Winber, and of course Random is the one to score it. Oh, Troy putting a shot on target. A quick retaliation attempt there, saved away by Random, who has been quick to reply to these defensive saves. Oh, JK Ray's almost made the shot on target. Mike still trying to apply that pressure, but Winber have broken through. We got Nightmare on the ball, looking for this pass, pinches it, and unfortunately the ball is a little too quick. Random, let's see if he can read the ball here, which he does. Still, ball ends up coming onto the center field, and unfortunately, I believe that is gonna be JK Ray who puts the, oh, it's a bit of an own goal. Unfortunately, it is the defense almost securing an own goal there, and Carmichaels have taken that first goal, retaliating in just a couple of seconds. Back to an equalizing scoreline here. We got JK Ray on the ball, sending it over to Mike, so has plenty of time to work with. Goes for the 50, has a lot of space as well. Flicks it up high. JK Ray picks this one up off the bar. It's almost in, but Random comes in with the save. That was 90% into the net, but unfortunately just not all the way in. And Carmichaels, rather Winber, have been given another life here. Heading right back onto the offensive side. Random has some momentum to work with, but control is what he's lacking. The teammates there to make a play, but Carmichaels manages to come out on top. Back onto the midfield we go. The ball bouncing around. Troip looking for possession, but it's Carmichaels putting in a shot on target, and Random has been a stone wall in front of the orange net, securing so many saves. And there's another one coming in from Random, taking his total count up to 4, but still got to be careful. It might just be making the 5th save here, which he does. Bouncing up high onto the sidewall, opportunity for Winber to take it to the other side, but still stuck in their half. 40 seconds remaining. Would want to get out of danger quick, otherwise it is Carmichael securing yet another goal. And who else but JK Ray taking this one off the pass from Mikey? Yes, perfect pass and a great shot onto the bottom left corner, secured by Carmichaels, who are now up by 1 here in the second game. Oh, Nightmare. That's a pretty good pass over to Random. Should be able to control this one, but Mikey goes for the intercept, sends it over to JK Ray. Random, great attempt, unfortunately could not connect. A bit of a double commit there could result in an opportunity to take this goal. However, Carmichael still managing to come out on top. All they need to do is hold on to the scoreline for 10 seconds, but I believe Random's, all he need is a single touch to make that equalizer happen. Perfect positioning, great 50 here, sends it into the bottom left corner, and Carmichael's lead has been cut down to 0, as with only 10 seconds remaining, and overtime might just be around the corner. Let's find out. Nightmare trying to take this game home here in regulation. The double, and oh my god. Well, that is not what we had. That is not what we expected here in Game 2. Nightmare just flies back into the position, takes the second touch, and that is one beautiful dunk coming in from the Windbird side here, just about ready to take game number 2, which they have. Windbird taking game number 2 here in this best of 5 series with style. And that is some beautiful plays coming in from each and every member of the Windbird side, and of course Nightmare coming in clutch with that final goal. Looking at Random, 730 points to his name as well. So many saves and 2 goals for him. A total of 7 shots from Carmichaels, however none of them as threatening as what Windbird has shown us here. Around 80% accuracy, I believe 75% accuracy out of 4 shots. They were able to take 3, so that's a little more. We play Rocket League here, so the stats would not be as amazing when we calculated it in our brains. But unfortunately, that is Windbird taking game number 2. Carmichaels, this has been a complete switch up. What you need for game number 3 is understanding where Windbird was able to take that counter attack, where they were able to take possession and keep it to themselves for such a long time. So going into game number 3 here, let's find out if Carmichaels have a great response. The players are ready, so let's head on into this next matchup. It's gonna be Forbidden Temple Day, a beautiful map to celebrate game number 3. A lot of quick action here coming in from Carmichaels, and they will be starting us off with an amazing quick response. Mikey S is there to take that very first goal of the pass from the sidewall to himself, and with only 12 seconds in, Mike has taken the very first goal here. Carmichaels have broken the momentum here going into this game number 3, and that is exactly what they needed, a change of pace. Windbird will be needing a quick reply, but Mike's, the way he's playing right now, it seems like that reply would be a little too far-fetched, because he's looking for the second goal almost immediately. Random still manages to come out on top here, sending it over to Random, who misses the shot there. JK Ray trying to take control of this ball, which he does. Mikey, can he make time? Yes, he can. And that is the second goal for Carmichaels. Yet again, the pass from Troy, this time around, Random not getting the right touch that he was looking for, gives Carmichaels the second goal here, and Mike's is 2 for 2. Finber had a pretty good kickoff, but Mike's still manages to come out on top with possession, gets it past one as well. Random takes it up high. This is an opportunity for Windbird to head onto the offensive side, but they take a little too long, and JK Ray off the backboard could be looking for a touch here. Troy manages to miss that shot. Random looking for the save here, and that ball finally is going to be ending up to go wide. Carmichael's not being able to take that third goal there. It's only been a minute. They already have a 2-goal lead to comfortably set on, so no harm done. Windbird, however, on the other side, are facing a lot of pressure. Heading onto the offense here will relieve some of that, but they still need a goal in order to get back into this game. We got Mike's in possession once again. That's over 2, make it 3, and that is the third goal for Carmichaels. Really unfortunate for Random there. Tried backflipping into the ball, unfortunately was not accurate enough with the timing. And that is gonna be a 3-goal deficit here for the Winbur side. They are in their own half right now and could manage to take possession here. However, they do seem to be struggling as boost seems to be a bit of an issue. Nightmare still manages to get it past one, but that's not going to be enough. Wyatt missing the touch there. Random should be able to pick this one up. He's got to be careful though. Yes, he is. Drifts it back into his control. It's Random trying to pick up the ball here, sending it down center. J.K. Ray, however, takes control, gets it past one. He's going to be sending it a little wide, but the pass is there. Mikes is there to take control of it, make it a 4-goal lead. The passing plays from this team have always been impressive, and this was nothing short of it. Mikes, great position, perfect timing, puts this one onto the back of the orange net, and that is a 4-goal lead for Carmichaels. Just about into the halfway mark of this game here. Still Winbur looking for their very first goal. And all they need right now is the momentum coming with it. As of right now, it's Carmichaels taking complete control of the field here. J.K. Ray putting another opportunity for a center, taken away by Random as he heads right on back into the blue corner. That's a pretty good pass. Unfortunately, the second man not quick enough, and Winbur will head right back onto the defensive side with J.K. Ray applying early pressure off the sidewall. Doesn't go up for the ball there, and Random has an open net to work with. Unfortunately, no boost, and that gives Carmichaels the 4-goal lead intact here for the Carmichael side, and they're looking for the 5th one as this one almost walks right into the orange net. J.K. Ray manages to continue that ridiculous amount of pressure. Random sending it in the corner. Mikey takes control, gets it past all three with the slightest of the touches, with the softest of the bumps to take that 5-goal lead for Carmichaels here in game number 3. A completely different showing here. Absolutely dominating performance so far from the Carmichael side. J.K. Ray, pretty good touch in the corner, gets it past 2. Troy picks this one up, has 100 boost as well. All he needs to do is put this pass down center, and I believe that shot is a little too wide from J.K. Ray. No harm done, however, that 5-goal lead still shining brightly. Troy, I am very surprised he was not able to secure that shot. Unfortunately, it still is fine as J.K. Ray is gonna be putting in that shot from the pass from Mikey with the softest of the touches as he picks this one up, sends it into the orange corner, and giving Carmichaels the 6-goal lead. Random. Good pass over to Nightmare. Can he pick this one up? Yes, he can. Sends it back onto the midfield. Has an opportunity for a pass into the corner. Doesn't even need a pass. He puts it right onto the top shelf of the goalpost, taking the 4-goal lead up to 5. The 6-goal lead up to 5 again. And I believe that is with only 70 seconds remaining. Carmichael's dominating game number 3 here. And all they need is to run down this clock for heading in to game point for this series. Mike's in possession, putting this down center. J.K. Ray picks this one up, has 50 boost to his name, should be able to pass this over, but Nightmare comes out on top of the defense. Mike's, they're going to pick this one up. Random still manages to come out on top. Demos one, but I believe offense still pretty strong here for the blue side. Looking for yet another shot on target. 40 seconds remaining. Winbur, if you're looking for a comeback, even if how impossible it looks right now, it all starts with the second goal here. Fortunately, with only 30 seconds remaining, it doesn't seem possible. If you want to see a comeback from Winbur, it all starts with them showing us what they're capable of here. Well, we want to see those flashes of brilliance that we saw in the previous game in the last minute. Winbur making a comeback, but unfortunately I believe time has run out, and No amount of mechanics as of this moment will give Winbird this game. It's gonna be Carmichael's taking this one home in a dominating fashion. Ooh, Winbird almost taking that one goal as a consolation home, but unfortunately that is still not gonna be going in. Carmichael's take game number 3, and they are now at match point here in this first best of 5 series. Just about ready to head on into game number 4 here. Carmichael's, let's have a quick look at Mikey S. Once again, 5 goals to his name with 7 shots. Or on the Winbird side, 1 goal for Nightmare, and that is pretty much all they're gonna get. But Mike's, still managing to dominate the show here. Once again, that's the player that we talked about. That is the one we needed to look out for, and Mike's has showed us what he's capable of here in this week. Once again, both of these teams are looking for their first win, so Carmichael's are on the right track to get that one win on the board here. All they need is this one game. Heading on into game number 4, the players are in, and we're just about ready to head on into the possible final game if Carmichael's continue to play the way they've been playing. The players taking a little bit of time joining in, but no matter. Everybody's in now, and we're just about ready to head on into this next game. Starting us off here is Carmichael's taking a bit of a technicality goal here, and that is going to be Troy putting that one in. Six seconds into the game, Carmichael's are up by that one goal. And a bit of a sportsmanship coming in from the Carmichael side as they decide to take that own goal for themselves, giving Random the goal he needed to equalize the series. So good sportsmanship coming in from Carmichael's. Game pretty much reset here with 14 seconds down the clock. Winbird, they have had what it takes to take this game home. But unfortunately, that last game was pretty dominant for Carmichael's side, so still plenty of opportunities to make this work. All they need is this game to send us into game number, but for that, they first need to break that momentum, that gigantic momentum that Carmichael's has walked into with that last game. Oh, Winbird starting us off strong here. On the blue side, we got an opportunity for not Wyatt as he sends this one a little too wide. Troy should be able to pick this one up with a little hesitation. He still manages to get the touch, looks for the 50, gets it past one. JK Ray has an open net to work with. Nightmare cannot get it back in time. He almost does though, but that is gonna be a 1-goal lead for Carmichael's. Nightmare pretty close to that 50-50. Almost pinched it off the sidebar there, unfortunately could not take it all the way through. Heading on to the third kickoff here, we got Random up in the air, manages to take possession. Troy, last man back. There's plenty of space to work with, plenty of boost to his name as well. The 50 going in onto the other side. JK Ray picking this one up off the sidewall, 60 boost as well. Does manage to get it past one. Random, however, is there to pick this one up. Goes for the intercept, and the 50 does not go his way. Mikes comes in with a save. Nightmare tries to steal the boost, unfortunately walks away with nothing at the moment. We got Troy trying to dribble all the 3 players with as little effort as possible, and he almost walks away with it. But Carmichael still in that 1-goal lead. We got Troy picking this one up, setting it down center to Mikes. JK Ray onto the sidewall. Mikes should be able to pick this one up. A time to show us something fancy here. Mikes, can he do it? Not so fast. It's Winbird still trying to stay alive in this game here. Only down by 1, so still plenty of opportunities to work with, and that is a bit of an open net. If granted, JK Ray doesn't get back in time, which he does, and that gives Winbird yet another shot at the defensive side, looking for the counter attack. Can they make it happen immediately? Not so fast. It's Random trying to take control, but has no boost to work with, and that is gonna kill all the momentum he had, giving Carmichael's another shot on to the back of the net. Taking it a little too high though. It's gonna be Random taking this one away, sending it on to the safety. JK Ray gets control. Got Mike's going up high in the air, a lot of boost as well. Maybe the double touch could finally take place. It almost does, but the accuracy is still needing some work. Half the way through here, Windward have managed to take only a single goal. That too due to a technicality. So they still need that very first goal here. Can they find it, or will it be Carmichael's taking the insurance home? Troy trying to put this one onto the back of the net. A little too wide though. That gives Nightmare the space he needs to shoot this onto the other side. Good pass down center. Mike's should be able to get this one home. Random comes in with a great 50, and Troy unfortunately could not make the touch required to take that second goal lead. When we're this close to breaking through, but unfortunately the touch is not good enough. Troy almost makes the goal lead up into 2. Keyword almost. Can they make it happen now? It's JK Ray on the ball. Still manages to get a shot. No goal for them though. Winber. Can they look for the response right here? It's Troy picking this one up off the sidewall, sending it down center over to Mike, who's down a post. Made a pretty good shot on target, but Random, nothing he can't save. But he'd have to go back quickly to save that one, which he does. Mike's looking for possession. Random comes out on top. Oh, the flick attempt is there. He's able to get it past one. Looks for the bump as well. That is huge from Random, but JK Ray is there to make the play there. Gets demoed. Winber. All they need is one goal to send it into overtime. All they need is one goal to send us into game number 5. Can they make it happen? It is Random putting this one onto the top right corner, but it hits the post and it's going to be thrown out back onto the midfield. Random coming out on top here. JK Ray can make the save, and Random has taken the second goal for Winber, and that is what you need to send us into game 4 overtime. Still 35 seconds left here. Both of these teams pretty capable of making goals, so overtime not quite there yet. 35 seconds, this could just end in regulation. Let's find out. It's Winber coming out on top. Nightmare beating 2 in the process, goes for the pass down center as well, but Troy is there to make the save. Huge props to Nightmare, however, for making that great attempt. It's Random now on the ball. A little boost to his name, manages to flip into it, but no momentum is going to result in the ball just at a bit of a standstill here in the corner. Troyes picks this one up. Good 50 in the midfield. We see Mike's going up high, is able to beat the last man. All he needs to do is make this shot happen. Can he do it? Oh, he's a little too wide with that one. Looks for the pass down center. The pass is good, but JK Ray cannot take it home. It is overtime here for game number 4. JK Ray. Early possession. Looking to get it past one, but it's Nightmare coming out on top. We have seen what this man has done before here in this game, and he does seem to be very scary on the offensive side at the moment. Random. Quick defense as always. Manages to get it past 2. And the shot towards the net is heading into the corner here. Mike's takes this one up high. Random, good 50. Troy should be able to pick this one up. Takes it onto the sidewall. Second touch for him, not quite there yet, but that gives JK Ray an opportunity for a shot on target. Troy gets it high, but not high enough apparently. JK Ray off the sidewall here, looking to maintain possession for the Carmichael side. But so far, it seems like Winber have had their number. All they need is a few more touches like those, and they would have the ticket that they need for game number 5. Fortunately, that is JK Ray on the ball. He's managed to take it past 2. Random, however, the wall at the stone wall in front of the defensive, in front of the orange net, still very much alive. Manages to make the save. Here's another one coming in from Random as he goes up high. Looking for this counter attack. He makes the 50. It's down low onto the goalpost, and game number 5 is where we'll decide who takes this best of 5 series. It is as close as the series can get. Mike's so close to making that save, however, ends up touching it onto the back of his own net. It's Winber taking game number 4, and we're just about ready to head on into game 5 here for the ultimate showdown between these two teams. Game number 5 is where we decide who takes the crown home. quick look at the statistics, we got Random securing 3 goals, 5 saves, and 5 shots on targets, and a total of, let me make it very clear, that is 954 points coming in from Winber. Amazing game, amazing showcase of skill coming in from the Winber side. Credit where credit is due. Random playing phenomenally well, and Nightmare coming in clutch in those last few minutes to give Winber that 1 goal lead here in overtime. This is what you needed. This is the kind of momentum breaker that Winber needed. And heading into this next one, let's find out if they can carry it through, or is it going to be Carmichael shutting them down? Of course, Carmichael, each of these players played phenomenally well. Mike's, however, had a bit of a silent game here. Only 3 saves at the moment. So, shots, once again, like we talked about in the first game for the Winber side, is what is leaving something to be desired here on the Carmichael side as well. You need that offense going up. You need to spend more time on the offensive side if you want to take goals against Winber. Just about ready to head on into game number 5. Well, this is one way to start off the TEC High School Series Rocket League action this week. Game 5 to decide who takes this first series. First kickoff is through, and possession seems to be in favor of Carmichael's at the moment, with JK Ray sending this one down center. We got Mikey picking this one up, spending some time in the air. Is not managing to get a pass there with that amount of boost. It's going to be Random now picking this one up, looking for a bit of a 50 or a flip. Just managed to get it down center, and the touch is there to secure the first goal for Winber. Random, perfect touch, has had just enough boost to go up high and takes this ball on to the blue net. 30 seconds into this game, it's Carmichael's down by 1. Winber starting us off strong here. Keeping up that momentum from the previous game. That is what you need. And that is what they have delivered. Mikey on the ball. Does manage to get it past 1. Random, however, quick retaliate. Almost gets the shot on target as well, but it heads into the corner. Got Nightmare trying to take control of the ball, but JK Ray gets it past 2. Still on the ball here. Looking for a bit of a pass down center. Random manages to pick this one up. Top right corner. Make it a top left corner. JK Ray shoots this one onto the back of the net, and that is a 1 goal back onto the Carmichael side, equalizing here after the first minute. Carmichael's, they're not out of it yet, just yet. They're not going down without a fight, and that is what we see here in game number 5 as they take possession right back. It's Mike's trying to take control of the ball. Troy puts the shot on target. The save makes it go high. Back onto the midfield. Mike picks this one up. A pass opportunity comes in from JK Ray. Can he send this one onto the back of the net? Not yet. Random is there to make the save as they head right back onto the offense here. JK Ray is picking this one up. We see Carmichael spending much more time on the offensive side here, and this is what you want to see from the blue half. Winber still great defense to continue maintaining that 1-1 scoreline. JK Ray, midfield touch taken back by Nightmare. Was looking with the 50 for the second time. It's gonna be not Wyatt, rather Random taking control of the ball here in the corner. 2 minutes into this game, still the 1-1 scoreline is pretty much intact. Just a lot of back and forth between these two teams as we see Nightmare trying to take control of this ball here, and in his own corner gets bumped away from Mikey. And you know, this is what we have seen quite less here in this best of 5 series. Not a lot of physical plays, not a lot of aggression coming in from either of the sides, which I could believe it could turn pretty useful if used properly. But as of right now, back to the game. We got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, with the 1 goal equalizer still pretty much intact for both sides. Random trying to take this on to the other half here. We got JK Ray with a bit of an open net. Can he make it? Yes, he can. With a little more effort, he'll manage to take this one onto the back of the net with a touch from the backboard. And that is Carmichael's going up by 1 here in game number 5. And let me tell you, in a game like Rocket League, especially when you're playing a best of 5 series, going up by a single goal in the last game means plenty of pressure over the other side. But Random says no pressure for me as he puts in a banger of a shot on target. JK Ray, however, does manage to make the save, sending it over to Mike's. who has an opportunity to make the shot, but that is Nightmare making the save with Random heading back onto the offense. JK Ray, can he beat him? Not so fast, takes possession. Got a boost to work with. Pass opportunity, sending it over to Mice, who's put a shot on target. Great defense coming in from Winver. And they continue it. Most importantly, can they take that 1-goal lead right back? But first, they need the equalizer. Random on the ball here, getting it past one. Mikes is there to make the play though, sends it back into the corner with Troy picking this one up, taking it high. Can he get the second touch? He almost does, but Nightmare beats him to the ball, sending it down center, not being able to pick up just yet. Mikes, plenty of time to work with, goes up high onto the side wall here, looking for a bit of a 50, almost dunks it as well, but it's Random making yet another phenomenal save right in front of the goal line. Saves are not what's going to get you the game though. A minute and 20 seconds remaining. Winber are still looking for the equalizer. Still spending a lot of time here on the offensive side here. Carmichael's trying to just hold out. All they need to do is hold the fort currently with 70 more seconds. Can they make it happen? We'll find out soon enough. Shot opportunity for JK Ray as he takes it into the corner. Looking to pick this one up, sends a pass down center. Troip is in the right position, but Random is a little too quick with the ball. Mikes tries to maintain pressure, but even a single touch made here by the blue side is all they need for wasting precious time for the Windward side, who are still looking for that equalizer. Can they find it? Doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case so far. 34 seconds remaining. Mikes trying to be in control. It's gonna be Troip now getting that 50. JK Ray takes the boost, takes the ball up high, looks for the pass, but that has well, resulted in a shot on to the other side of the field. I'm surprised that just didn't go straight in, but that one will. It's Random equalizing with only 15 seconds remaining, with a bit of a deja vu coming in from game number 2 here, as we see Random equalizing the scoreline here in game number 5. 15 seconds remaining, and overtime does seem highly likely at the moment, but 15 seconds is a long time. Troip looking to send this one on the backboard. Random saves it. Mikes in control of the ball, goes for the ceiling shot. He could just end it right here if he has the touch. He had the touch. Unfortunately, the ball touched the ground before he could hit the back of the net, and that leaves us to game number 5, overtime between these two teams. JK Ray could just end it right here with the shot on target. It hits the post, and Mice cannot convert it into a shot. JK Ray in his own half looks for the flick here, but Random is a little too quick to the ball. Does beat him. Nightmare, a lob shot on target, saved away by Mikes as he head right back into the corner. Nightmare looking to pick this one up. It's gonna be not Wyatt. A slow shot on target, but still a save needs to be made, which it does, giving Random an opportunity to hold on to this ball, but he sends it right back on over to Mikes, who's looking for some fancy plays off the sidewall here. Here comes JK Ray, who's put on a threatening shot, but Nightmare manages to secure that save. Here we go. Offense here for the Carmichael side as Troy looking to get this pass down center, and they almost made it, but that was nobody onto the back of the net. A huge blunder coming in from Carmichael's. They could have just ended it right there, but now it seems like Winber have been given a second life here in game number 5 overtime, as we see Troy picking this one up. A good 50 to send this down center. Is Mike's ready for it? Not yet. Random up with the ball high in the air. JK Ray manages to bring him down, takes possession, but only beats 2 in the process, as we see the tic-tac-toe, the ping-pong action coming in from both of these teams, moving in from one corner to the other. Still not being able to make threatening shots on target. That's still pretty threatening, but it's a little too wide there. Mikes could not make the goal. 2 minutes into this overtime, who will take the golden goal here to take this series when this best of 5 series is coming down to just a single goal? Let's find out who is going to take this home. It seems like Winver are on the offensive side at the moment, managing to control possession, but not for long, as we see Carmichael's coming out on top here. over that mid-control interaction. J.K. Ray sending it over to Troip, but Troip hits it a little too wide, and that is yet another opportunity missed for Carmichael's. J.K. Ray is not out of it yet. He puts another shot down towards Troip, who's not able to pick this one up. Mike's there to make the play, sends it into the corner. Random sends it a little too wide. J.K. Ray in possession. He's past one, he's past two. Troip, can he convert it? No, once again into the corner. Mike's with the ball, taking his sweet time, but cannot beat all three players. It's a numbers game at that point. Troip manages to make the save. Now J.K. Ray is looking for a bit of a pass. Unfortunately, the touch off the hood was not strong enough, and we see Winber heading right back onto the offensive side here with Mikes. They're going to get this ball down center. Troip has control. Can he get the pass? Yes, he can. Nightmare, however, sends it back into the corner, saving his team. As of right now, we got Random on the ball. In the corner, J.K. Ray should be able to pick this one up, and that's a bit of an open net for a second, but Random is there to make the play, not Wyatt. Sends it over to Nightmare. Random has plenty of boost off that spawn. It's going to be sending it right back on their own half. Mikes picks this one up. J.K. Ray has possession. He's past one, looks for the flick, however, gets 50'd away, and that bump could mean everything here. Can Winber take advantage of it? It doesn't seem like it. Mikes has almost put a shot on target, but it's once again wide, and, well, that is 10 shots coming in from Carmichael's. Make it 11, with only 2 going in at the moment. Troip looking for a bit of a back pass here. Oh, that is pretty awkward. That is pretty awkward position for Carmichael's. Mikey is looking to maintain possession. Random does manage to beat him to the ball, but J.K. Ray is there to make the play. He sends it back onto the midfield. He gets it past all of them, but can he convert it into a goal? He looks for the pass. Can he find it? Yes, he can. The shot is there, but it's once again hitting the post, and it's a bit of a curse at this point. Carmichael's putting in so many shots, but every single time it's the fourth defender, the goalpost, denying them the opportunity. Can they finally find it? It's J.K. Ray getting it off the backboard. Troip, however, needs to make a run back under his own half to take control of this ball as he takes it off the sidewall. Here, putting it down center with J.K. Ray. Random sending it over to Mike. Well, Nightmare sending it into the corner here. Troip should be able to pick this one up. J.K. Ray left a little confused and not Wyatt had the opportunity to take that one home. J.K. Ray cannot beat Random to the ball here. So we've got a bit of a double touch. Gets the bump. Is that all they need? It's not going to be enough as they still manage to come out on top here. That is 5 minutes of overtime. We have basically played another game here in game number 5 itself. J.K. Ray is not going to be hitting that shot in as well. It's gonna be Mikey now in possession, onto the ceiling. This could be it. He looks for the pass, but Random reads the play perfectly and he sends it right back onto the other side, trying to put the shot on target. J.K. Ray, all he needs to do is walk this one in. Troip cannot convert it, and it's J.K. Ray trying to put this one home with a bit of a double touch. It's gonna be going wide back into the corner with Troip getting it passed down center. Mikes does pick this one up. This might just be one of the longest overtimes here in the TEC High School series. Could just be ending right now, but they keep hitting the goalpost. Oh my god, the curse is real. The curse is absolutely real. J.K. Ray, can he end it? No, he cannot. No, he cannot. He hits the goalpost again. Oh my god. Mikes trying to get this pass down center. We got Random on the ball here. Still manages to take it to the midfield. A bit of an open net here. Random, can he convert it? No. Panics there. And that might just be the openness of the nets here for Troy, but he's a little too far away. J.K. Ray trying to go up for this double touch, and that is gonna be once again hitting the post. Well, can we have a post counter up here? I'm pretty sure that's about to hit triple digits at this point, because that is so many shots coming in from Carmichael's. Total of 17, out of which only 2 were converted into goals. In the blue corner, Nightmare does manage to beat one. Is that not Wyatt making the save? That is pretty unfortunate.
Mike's on the ball here, going up against 3 all by himself, has no boost to work with. Random takes it on to the midfield, a flip reset to trying to secure a bit of an aggressive playstyle there, but that might just be it. Random comes in with the save once again, and that is gonna be leading us to a 7 minute and 30 seconds into this overtime. JK Ray could have just ended this right here with a flick, but manages to take it a little wide. Mike's in the corner, looking with his pass down center. Nightmare sends it right back in the other corner here. The ball's gonna go down center. Troy looks to pick this one up. One corner to the other, cannot go into the back of the net though, as Nightmare sends it over to Mike's, and that will be it as the clock just about ready to hit 8 minutes here in this overtime. Mikey goes up high into the air, takes the goal, and that is gonna be game number 5 going in favor of Carmichael's. That, ladies and gentlemen, I am pretty sure is the longest overtime in the history of the TEC High School Series. 8 minutes of overtime here in game number 5. Well, that was intense. As we see Carmichael's 19 shots from this team. 19 shots, converting 3 in the process. So, I mean, after hitting that many goalposts, I'm glad they were able to take that. So many opportunities missed, but they were finally able to take this one home. And that is, once again, Carmichael's taking this best of 5 series win. Once again, huge props to Winber from sticking all the way through, this close to taking goals themselves. But it is Carmichael's coming out on top there at the end, the offense being just slightly better. But that was just series number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We still got plenty of TEC High School Series action here for Rocket League, starting up again at 5 p.m. EST with our second game. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
it's Brandon here at the Esports Company, and I'm here to recap this week's Division 1 and Division 2 Rocket League play. First, we have a Division 1 matchup between Shade Central and Carmichael's. Here we're looking at a play by Troy P. from Carmichael's. Boop! Over his head. That's going to be instant offense going the other way. They're going to boost down the field. He could go all the way. Score for J.K. Ray 5. Carmichael's takes a 1-0 lead in game 1 with that beautiful execution. But it wasn't enough, as the Shade Panthers take the best-of-5 series 3-2 over Carmichael's. Next is a Division 1 matchup between California and Uniontown. A lot of aerial play in this game. Ball flying all over the place, up in the air. Nice hit off the wall. It could go in. It does. Score for California. What a beautiful play. California is going to sweep the best-of-5, 3-0 over Uniontown. Next is a Division 1 matchup between Forest Hills and Wimber. Quick goal right there by Pig B. Demolition. Boom. Up into the air, get it in front of the goal, make a play for me. He does. It's beautiful. That effort right there is going to give the Forest Hills Rangers the edge 3-0 over the Wimber Ramblers in the best-of-5 series. Lastly, for our Division 1 matchups, Gateway versus Bishop Guilfoyle. Ball flying off the wall, ball hitting everywhere. Goal! He slams it in, stuffs it. With the opposition there, Gateway wins 3-0. All right, looking at our Division 2 play, we have Laurel Highlands versus Shade. Ball flying all over the place. Laurel Highlands up 7-0. Yosita, ball up in the air like a balloon. Slam it in for me. The touch, the score, to take an 8-0 lead. Laurel Highlands will take that match 3-0 versus Shade in the best-of-5. Next is Penn Trafford versus Forest Hills in a Division 2 matchup. Scores 3-0, and they're already flying right out of the face-off. Here we go. Get the ball in front of the net, and good things will happen. Absolutely gorgeous execution. Penn Trafford takes it 3-0 over Forest Hills. Our final Division 2 matchup of the day is California versus Richland. We got a little play in the corner, ball off the wall on top of the goal. Then we're going the other way. Hit the boost for me, man. It's awesome. Going all the way into the goal. Scored. California takes it 3-0 over Richland. Looking at our standings on the Division 1 side, we have a tie for first place between the California and Forest Hills at 2-0. Greater Altoona, CTC, Gateway, and Penn Trafford, Richland all tied for second at 1-0. Shade sitting at 0-0, still waiting to play. Carmichael's, Westmont, and Uniontown sitting at 0-1. Bishop Guilfoyle and Wimber sitting at 0-2. Over on the Division 2 side, we have Laurel Highlands leading the way at 2-0. Gateway, Greater Altoona, CTC, Uniontown, Hollidaysburg, Penn Trafford all sitting at a cool 1-0. California sitting at 1-1. Forest Hills, Bishop Guilfoyle, Westmont, Hilltop all at 0-1. And Richland and Shade rounding it out at 0-2. Looking at our matchups for next week. Over on the Division 1 side, we have Carmichael's versus Wimber, Uniontown versus Shade, Gateway versus California, Penn Trafford versus Richland, and the Greater Altoona CTC Goats versus Wimber. Over on the Division 2 side, we have Westmont Hilltop versus Penn Trafford, Bishop Guilfoyle versus Gateway, Shade versus Hollidaysburg, and Forest Hills versus Greater Altoona CTC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. After a bit of a short break, we are back with game number 2 here, and this time we got Happy with me in the casting booth. Happy, we got a wonderful game ahead of us. It's Gateway going up against California Area SD. Currently on the statistics, we got Gateway sitting at 1 win and 0 loss, while on the other side, California Area 2-0 on the stats. So, Happy, well, either of these teams is going to be walking away with a loss this time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that early on you got to play another team who's already yet to lose, but that's just how it goes. One of these teams is going to unfortunately walk away with an L next to them. Is it going to be the 1-1 for Gateway, or is it going to be the 2-1 for California? That's what we aim to answer in this one, as it is my first time on the TEC stream, and I'm very excited to be here. Happy that could finally come through to help out Flater after that marathon of a best of 5 he had to do, unfortunately, on his lonesome. Apparently, from what he said, he was pretty tired after that one. So we'll try our best to take.
It's all right. We got 20 minutes.
Alleviate some of the pressure.
Back in energy.
Yeah, alleviate some of the pressure from him. But I do think we're actually ready to get into the lobby relatively soon. As for the side of California, we're going to get into our players to watch. Their player to watch is Exavo, typically the highest performer on the team already through this season so far.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing pretty well. That was last week's stats up there now. 733 score with 4 goals across all 3 of the games. Averaged over 1 assist per game. And then that save as well. Probably just didn't have too much pressure on them, though. I'm sure he would be able to put up with the pressure when push comes to shove.
Of course, looking at the Gateway side, we got 7 Joeller with a 550-point scoreline, along with 2 goals, 1 assist, and 1 save in the previous best of 5 series that we had from the Gateway side last week. So both of these teams extremely capable of bringing in the heat as and when it need be. So going up against each other this early on in the TEC High School series, it's gonna be a clash of the Titans, basically.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 massively talented teams. We already mentioned both of them yet to take an L quite yet, but it is still very early on as well. So plenty of teams have not quite lost one just yet. So this is where we'll start to see some of those teams who were able to catch 1 or 2 wins early on in the season really separate themselves from the teams who were going to stick around at the top. Just some of the teams who, they played a couple of teams that maybe they were just a little better than. Maybe there was a bit of a rank disparity there. That's not really going to cut it for you going into week number 3, 4, and going into game. Finally into the Gateway, California game number 1.
Game number 1, here we go. It's Gateway starting us off on the offensive side with California. They're chilling. They're trying to take control of the ball here, and Dark coming in with a huge pinch from the sidewall with a pancake, putting a shot on target. 7 Joeller, the man to look out for, has made a perfect save right in front of the goal line. But it is California currently on the offense. Exavo on the ball with a bit of a flip reset. However, loses momentum. A Panky makes yet another shot on target, but unfortunately could not make it in. That is multiple shots just hitting the post again and again. But California applying tons of pressure early on.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, but really should have been able to put one of those through. A couple shots go just barely off the crossbar or off the post. You hate to see that happen, but what can you do other than shrug it off and look for more opportunities in the future? Is Stone looking for one, gets one, and gets it to go. As that one actually looked like it was knocked through by one of the defenders, accidentally helping out. It looked like Exavo might have been in a position to make the save. No, he was the one who knocked it in. Spanky, or Panky rather, could have been the one to get that save. Unfortunately, Zavo thought he had it, did not quite, and that is a goal number 1 to Gateway in spite of the early pressure going California's way.
Ooh. Oh, it could switch right back here. Dark did put a shot on target, but Sergeant Kudigan is there to make the save. Stone looks to put this one down center. It's going to bounce off the ceiling. Zavo, great control there, but a bit of a double commit again
in the midfield. Will it result in a goal? Finally, it does come through. It's Exavo off the pass from Dark. Manages to take that equalizer.
Great play by Dark, getting 2 taps towards the midfield and then another one to touch it towards the center, and already caught so many players off guard, pushing them forward into that corner and then beating them over the top. And then there wasn't the last man back. The last man who was supposed to be all the way home was instead somewhere else. I think I might have seen him up in the corner that everybody else was playing in somewhere, not exactly sure, but the last man who was supposed to be there, not quite there, and that final line of defense being non-existent is going to make it as easy as pie for California to even things back out at 1-1, although they're already being threatened, and there it is, Sergeant Cooligan able to knock that one through and make sure that they don't give up the lead.
Well, the defense so far has been stepping on each other's toes here. We saw a bit of a bump coming in between Xavo and Apangi once again right in front of the goal line. So that is going to give Gateway that 1-goal lead right back into their own hands as we head right back onto the 4th kickoff here. Dark should be able to take possession in the corner. But does he manage to take the clear? Which he does. No boost to work with. However, a lot of momentum to put this one down center. Opportunity for Seven Joella to take it right back onto the other side. Exavo, not the best touch here on the defense, but Dark manages to take control of what he can gets it past one as well. Stone is on the ball there, no second touch for him. Exavo does a pretty good pass down center, but the third man nowhere in sight, and that is gonna give Gateway another chance for a goal.
Gateway looking to make the most of it now, take it back, but towards the midfield again. That is till Sergeant Cooligan steps up. Wants to try and highlight himself as much as he can. Already able to get that 1 goal, nearly making it another one, but not quite able to sneak him through. Exavo looking for the clear now, sends it to the field. Really nice pass, though. Dark isn't quite able to make anything happen there, but eventually California gets one through all the same as Dark sent it over to the corner. Tried to continue to make a play on that ball, forced everyone's attention into that one corner, and then tapped it right over the only person who had a chance at saving it, right into the center, and that's another goal for California.
That's a great pass from Dark there. Just managing to take control, getting it past multiple players in the corner is the most crucial pass of a crucial task of a playmaker here. And once again, it's Exavo this time around, just driving this ball home all by his lonesome, taking it past multiple players, going with a bump for the last man, almost gets it, but it doesn't matter. All he needed was the slightest of the touches to take this 1-goal lead for California.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of a situation where bump plays are the most effective, when you don't even need to get the bump. He didn't even really fully bump the dude who was alone in net, but it was such an unlosable situation at the very least in terms of how good of a shot that was and how few teammates were home. It just kind of wasn't really going to work out for the defense either way, as that shot's all the way through. Stone looks like he put it into the top right corner from looking at the top right perspective, the little map we've got up there. And we'll see it now. A banging shot from Stone. Even if somebody was home, I highly doubt they were getting to it. Big goal again for California to make sure this game remains even.
3-3 being the current scoreline here. Stone should be able to pick this one up. That's a pretty good pass down from the ceiling. Dark, good save, but could have been better. Doesn't manage to take possession away, and Stone, oh my god, that he has just beaten multiple players to the ball there. Joel had the opportunity to shoot it down, unfortunately took it a little too high. A Panky shot opportunity missed, and Stone should be able to take this one away, but bumps coming in from both sides will result in Exavo coming out on top here, shutting this down, making a pass down center. Seven Joel takes it away. Bit of an open net for a second. Exavo comes flying in with only 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining here. 3-3 is the current scoreline. Make it 4-3 now. As California, the pass from Exavo, the shot from Dark is gonna get them that 1-goal lead.
It's becoming evident exactly why Exavo was the player that we highlighted coming into this, because he's just seems to be at a different level in terms of mechanics and game speed and ability to recognize opportunities. Not the first time he's recognized a great opportunity, but one of the best passes I've seen in quite some time at the high school level is Exavo just dishes it out straight into the center of the field, right on top of Dark. You couldn't have placed that any better if you had tried for thousands and thousands of attempts, and he just does it instinctively to give California the lead, as Gateway continue to have to play catch-up.
That they do, but once again, they've done it before, they can do it again. Let's find out in 50 seconds, do they manage to continue in maintaining the pattern, or will it be California going up by 2 with 7 Joel on the ball here, looking for a pass down center of the Stone. He does get the touch, but no momentum is going to result in a shot on target. Sergeant Cooligan cannot get the touch, and that is Dark making the goal happen. A 2-goal lead for California, and Gateway are looking at a bit of a difficult first game.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation for Cooligan. You really can't afford to miss a save like that. And I mean, look, it happens. Sometimes you start boosting up and you realize I'm not quite in the right spot to hit that. I was a little too far ahead of it, didn't quite slow down the way I needed to. And because of being a little too careless, that means California up 2 with 20 seconds left. Barely any time for Gateway to get back into it. And, well, just to make things worse, it's already pressure again from California as it's back into the orange half, or rather the blue half. The orange team's got control, and it's likely they'll continue to hold this lead for the rest of the match. Only 5 seconds left until California can confirm Game 1 as their very own, and as we hit 0 seconds, you can't get 2 goals in 1 goal, so California gonna make sure they lock away the first one. They're gonna try and be the ones to keep themselves undefeated coming out of this week.
Your first game going in favor of California there, we saw it was a bit of a rocky start for California. We saw Gateway taking that very first goal, even after California applying tons of pressure. But that just goes to show what kind of play style California came into this game with and what have they maintained throughout this game. Gateway, however, still managed to take 3 goals against a team like California. So still, the game's not over yet. It's a best-of-5 series. Gateway plenty of time to adapt to the playstyle that California is used to and make the best of it.
Yeah, still plenty of time, and they did look pretty competitive in that game as well. I definitely think that they stand a pretty solid shot going forward. It's just maybe they started a little slow. They didn't quite have everything together. And I mean, a losing opportunity early on in a series that's set to be pretty close, or at the very least, I'm anticipating it being pretty close considering how good that last game was, being within 1 goal or tied the entire time until about 30 seconds left. So I can't imagine that the next couple of games will be any less close. And so Gateway being the ones to start on the back foot, you could also look at that as just another opportunity to say, all right, what do we need to work on? Where can we take, advantage of mistakes that they're making of and really start to propel ourselves to be the ones on the front foot as opposed to being at a deficit?
And they have what it takes. You've seen the mechanics coming in from Gateway. All they need is a calm and collected way to portray them in the best possible positions, and that is on the offensive side. Let's find out if Gateway can bring us a bit of a different result here in Game 2. Got Dark here in possession of the ball. California looking to start us off strong, and they almost did, but it's 7 Joeller coming in with a great save right in front of the goal line. Xavo, we're going to pass this over to Apanki, and he is there to for the redirect as well. The first goal going in favor of California, as with only 22 seconds in, California have managed to continue the kind of momentum that they came into the series with.
Yeah, California start things off strong and then start things off in the second game just as strong as before, as they feel motivated, knowing that this is a series they've got a pretty good shot at, possibly. So they're going to come into this thing looking even better than before. But shots still on from Gateway, so not out of the woods yet are California, not by any means, as there you go. You've got to remain aware of the defensive side, because if you're not, you're going to get exploited for it. Hooligan's going to leave it in the center of the field right for Stone to just loft it over. The only defender really close to home for California, and Gateway are going to make sure that they do not go out in the same way they went in Game 1.
So it will seem Xavo, here he is, looking for a bit of a double touch. Might just be able to take the 1-goal lead right back into his own hands. Look at that quick response. Unfortunately, the defense holds on pretty strong here for the Gateway side, managing to take possession, looking to send this ball down center. 7 Joeller cannot make the most of it, as Dark off the sidewall gets the pass, looking for a shot over to Pankey. Can he pick this one up? Sergeant Cooligan, great 50 going in his way, and that is a bit of an opportunity coming in from 7 Joeller, sending it over to Stone, who looks for the shot towards the top left corner, taking it in to the orange corner here. California should be able to get out of their own half as Xavo uses all his boost to take this into the blue half, and he go for the pass. Not yet. Dark
Off the backboard, the double touch opportunity is there, but the shot doesn't connect, and that gives the gateway to the counterattack.
Yeah, and it kind of looks that like at the moment, Exavo is kind of taking the whole, spotlight player to heart. Definitely, I think he can recognize that he is definitely a little more mechanically intensive than some of his teammates. But he does make the common mistake you'll see players not quite at the highest level who have very good mechanics making, where they go a little too hard. They're going a little too frequently towards the ball, when it might be better to just leave it and possibly let your opponents, but your teammates have an opportunity to make a play. Instead, going for it yourself, leading to a little bit too much aggression, and that's going to lead to not much defense, but oh, what an amazing save made. How on earth have they kept it out? California somehow, someway, keep us at a 1-1 scoreline, looking to make it 2-1, and Exavo does just that with a massive shot sneaking it under the crossbar to make sure California remain at the upper hand.
And that is a perfect pass coming in from Dark, just sending it on to the nose of Exavo, putting in the perfect momentum and just the right oomph that he needed to send this ball onto the downfield, giving it to Exavo, taking that 1-goal lead. Can they make it 2? Can they get that insurance goal? Because against a team like Gateway, 1 goal is not enough. Let's find out if California have what it takes. You got 7 Joel on the ball here, looking to take this right back on the other side. Oh my god, that is unfortunate. Happy. You want to talk about that one?
I really don't, but you know what? I guess I will. That's just... You hate to see it. It's another situation similar to the one that happened earlier on. I think it was Exavo for California who owned gold in the last game. This time around, it's Stone from Gateway, who thinks they have a good enough spot to save it, but in that situation, not only doesn't recognize that their teammate has a pretty good spot to save it, but also just, it wasn't really that good of an angle to begin with. Stone didn't have much to work with. Was almost able to sneak that through, but couldn't quite stop on enough of a dime, and the teammate who shot it right over Stone's head wasn't quite able to sneak it all the way through. Big save for California, as now they look for even more. It's Joel continuing to advance the ball, though it's responded to, and Sergeant Cooligans missed it again. It's like the end of the last game with a missed save, but ooh, massive save by Stone to make sure that the lead will only remain at 2, but that's not going to be the case for long. Exavo does Exavo things, and it's a 4-1 lead, California.
California just maintaining the offensive presence in this game that they wanted, having that 3-goal lead with only a minute and 40 seconds left in this game. Gateway will have to work twice as hard even if they want to bring this game close.
Yeah, and it doesn't look to be too close at the moment. Not if those saves keep happening, because Joel needs to get something through. Somebody on Gateway needs to get something through, but every single time they're able to get even a little close, California shuts them down. I feel like we've had 3 goal line saves in like the past couple of minutes. In this game alone, we've seen plenty of saves right before the shots get through, and I'm sure it would be much closer should that not be the case. But it looks like the defense for California, along with the offense, but particularly the defense this game, is the massive difference maker, because the shot on goal differences I don't think is too massive between the two teams. However, the saves difference is actually going to make the biggest difference of all of them, because the shots going on from Gateway not being let in, and Gateway are making more defensive errors than California, and it's showing up in a big way for Cal, as they're almost able to get another one. 45 seconds left, a 3-goal lead. I'd feel really comfortable here.
Now, one of the reasons why we see Gateway struggling is because of the amount of time they're spending on the defensive side. Not by choice, of course. It's California just forcing them into their own half for the longest time here. For each and every play they make, they manage to take possession in their own half for plenty of those times, just giving them multiple opportunities in a row. And that is what California has done here in the second game as well, just leaving us with only 17 seconds left now. So let's find out if Gateway will even be able to procure a consolation goal at the moment, which does seem to be highly unlikely, as the ball heads right back on the blue half with possession in favor of... Okay, this might just be an opportunity. The 50 doesn't go the right way, though, and that's going to be California taking game number 2 in this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, California looked even better than they did in the first game. And actually, matter of fact, the saves difference was not too grand between the two teams. It actually was only one more save on the side of California compared to Gateway. So it doesn't even, it just looks like it was more of a possession thing than anything for California. Every single one of their players out touching the players on the other side, even if just by a little bit. It's mostly Xavo. 10 touches more than the next guy across the entire lobby. Absolutely wiping the floor in terms of total time on the ball. Although it might be a little bit too ball hoggy at times. It's working, and it's keeping the possession for Xavo, and Gateway are at the point where everybody is a little bit too on the ball, to the point where they all need to sort of adjust and get a little bit, further away, kind of play around their teammates, because it felt like sometimes at the end, might have just been because we were so late in the game and they didn't feel like they had much to play for, but they all felt like they were just scrambling to touch the ball, and everyone was a little too close to each other. The rotations weren't as wide as they needed to be. Hopefully we'll see some kind of adjustment from Gateway on that front going into game number 3.
Well, one final attempt for Gateway here in this best of 5 series. One more game to decide whether Gateway are going to be making this comeback, or it's going to be California taking this one home in a 3-0 fashion. Let's find out. We got the players in the lobby happy. What are you thinking? What turns out to be the result of the series?
I would love to see Gateway starting to widen the rotations, but I feel like it's a bit too massive an adjustment for everybody to make this quickly. So I'm assuming, or not assuming, but I'm anticipating a California victory here. I'm going to go I'll go 4-2. I'll give California. I say Gateway get a couple here. Maybe California get a little cocky, but Gateway probably, I think, don't win this game just because California looked to be getting so much better after the first game. We were suspecting that maybe Gateway were just warming up in game 1 and they needed a little extra time, but it seems it was California who was just getting started in that first game, as they've started what could become a sweep here. However, still 5 minutes out from the end result of this game. That is if we avoid overtime. And Cali starting things off relatively strong, but nobody really getting anything massive yet.
Just a lot of ping pong action between these two teams as of right now. We see Xavo trying to head back into their own half with a bit of a bump coming in from the side, while Dark manages to take it right back on the other side. Xavo, can he beat the last man at the ball? Not so fast, but he was pretty close to it. A Panky. We're going to put this down center. No second man for him as of right now. We got 7 Joeller, the man to look out for. 12 boost to his name with this pass. Unfortunately, it's not going to be, and there's not going to be enough power on it, as we see the ball heading right back onto the blue side. An opportunity for the top right corner. Shot denied by the goalpost, as Apangi does get the demo, but managing to maintain possession for California is what's important, because that's how they get goals. And as of right now, possession seems to be a little difficult.
I kind of like what we're seeing from Gateway. They're not playing overly aggressive, although as I say that, 3 players rotated relatively far up the field, but Stone is able to get back in time. But yeah, they're not playing too aggressive here. They're letting California take the shots, just having faith that they'll be in the right positions. And it feels like they have made adjustments, not necessarily to their rotations, but more so their play style. They're playing passive, they're playing conservative, they're giving California the opportunities to take those shots, knowing that they might get a chance to catch them off guard. However, now it looks like California might be catching them off guard, but no, neither team is able to put the shots through. We remain at a dead even scoreline this late into a game, which is very uncharacteristic of the series, at least as far as we've seen it thus far.
Yep, and this is, once again, like you said, a pretty good showing from the Gateway side here, maintaining that 0-0 scoreline. California, can they change it? It seems like they're on the right track to do so, and Dark is just going to be walking this one past 3 players with the slightest of the touches, and the momentum being completely in his favor, getting that very first goal for, well, I believe, California.
Yep. It's just kind of a situation of Gateway. They kind of, it looked like they were kind of playing here to cover up the play style that they had, or rather the rotational issues they had. Their play style change kind of perfectly covered the fact that their rotations hadn't changed much, and they still are making the same issues they were making earlier in the series. And look at Xavo, just casually takes it off that pass all the way up to the ceiling pretty much, and then drops it that down. That angle is crazy. It doesn't even hit the floor. He couldn't have put it on any better in California. Look like they might just start pouring it on here as they take a 2-0 lead, and Gateway are being left with not much to say, and they're not even allowed to respond there or there either.
Oh, But I'm loving the pressure that Gateway is applying here. Even a single goal means cutting the lead down in half, and with 2 minutes, that's plenty of time to make do, and that is exactly what Seven Joeller has in mind. 2 minutes remaining here, happy. Only a 1-goal lead to beat.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of time still, like you said. 1 minute, still just around 2 minutes to work with. You got 1:58 on the clock. And if you keep pulling out demo strats like that, I was going to say earlier after I saw a demolition come out, but then something else struck my mind as more important to talk about. But I noticed there was a demo early on in this game, or at least relatively early on, and that reminded me that we have barely been seeing any demos. In the first game, there was one demo play that Exavo went for, but otherwise we have not seen much. It's just been relatively safe to just run around the map as you please, and nobody's going to try to explode you. And speaking of explosive, Dark with a massive shot in the center of the field. Perfect pass from Exavo as well, and Dark leaves it high just in case any defenders got any ideas. California takes the 3-1 lead.
And it seems the more you scrim against a particular team, the more comfortable you are going for demos. Otherwise, you might just be able to cut out of rotations, especially at the highest ranks, right? So I do understand where they're coming from, but having the ability to adapt in the same best of 5 series is huge. So some aggressive plays here and there, calculated aggressive plays could do either of these teams a great deal. But let's find out. With a 2-goal deficit currently, can Gateway make this comeback? They do manage to get it out of their own half here, as we see Stone trying to pick this one up. Panky looks to maintain possession, gets bumped away, giving Exavo and now rather Dark the possession here in his own corner. Gets beaten. Seven Joella looks for the pass down center. The time is taking out, and every touch made by California is a bit of a problem for Gateway, as they are not having any chance of possession.
Yeah, really just being forced out of this game. It doesn't seem that's what Gateway want, but that seems to be what Gateway are going to get, as Joel not even able to make that one happen. Jumped a little too early, and by the time he went for the flip and trying to take the shot, didn't have the angle at all. Cooligan, though, is going to take that shot on, but it's posted. Unfortunately, not able to sneak it through, and I think that might be one of their last opportunities. Their last real chance they would have had to stay in the game, because at this rate, if they score once more, they're not really going to have enough time to get anything done. They needed that goal from Cooligan. They might be able to sneak away one here, though, as Stone is denied on the goal line, trying to send it back towards the middle again, but it's all for naught. It's all in vain, and it's all California taking this series in a clean 3-0 sweep, and seemingly only getting better and better as the series went on, giving Gateway a lot of possession there compared to past games, but it still just didn't really do too much. Gateway not making a single save in all of the defense that they played, and it doesn't really require too many shots from California. They're allowed to forfeit that possession, well, because you're not getting punished for it. They made 4 saves of their own. They did a great job shutting down everything Gateway brought to the table. And across that whole series, not just across that last game as well, it applies to really everything that we saw from both of these two teams.
Absolutely, Gateway's defense still leaving a lot to be desired here in the Best of 5 series. Hopefully we see it improve over the next few weeks. We did see flashes of brilliance coming in from Gateway here and there, but still the consistency is a bit a problem that they can still work on. And as of right now, the stats for these two teams stand at California area now at a 3-0 on the standings, along with Gateway now standing at 1-1. I believe we'll be right back with the next series, which is going to be Penn Trafford going up against Richland. So stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere. just about ready to head on into game number 3 of the Tech High School Series Rocket League action today. Once again, my name is Flitter, and with me in the casting booth is still Happy, feeling pretty happy there. And of course, what we got next is gonna be probably one of the most intense games that we see today. It is Penn Trafford going up against Richland, both currently sitting at a 1-0 scoreline. Happy, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, we went into the last one, it was 2 undefeated teams, so we were expecting a lot out of that. And you could notice that California were the better team, at the very least today, definitively the better team. You don't 3-0 sweep while not being definitely the team that, at the very least on that day, was playing the better Rocket League. So we could get 2 teams that are similar in skill level. One might just be having a good day, one might be having an off day. We could get a great series, or we could get a blowout. Anything could have happened. It still feels like it's a little early in the season to really predict how good a team's going to be based just on their record. We really got to go to the eye test, and that's why I'm so excited to get into this one.
Absolutely, just about ready to head on into this one. Once again, a best of 5 game number 1 is just about ready here. And of course, I personally would prefer, if I had to choose, if I had to choose who's going to take this dub here, I'd probably choose Penn Trafford, given their history in the previous seasons. I believe Richland is one of the newer schools that joined in this particular season, so still trying to get a lay of the land here, trying to understand what's going on. But Penn Trafford, once again, a very old team in the Tech High School Series. So with a little more experience will come a bit of an advantageous position for Penn Trafford.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, that extra experience can also mean that it's more accepted in the high school. Like, the kids are much more aware. Much more likely to get some of the more talented Rocket League players in your school to play in the league. So, it's indicative of Penn Trafford possibly being the favorite coming in, but who will be handed their first loss of the season? We've already seen one team take their first L of the season, and Penn Trafford don't want to be the ones to do it as Xavier comes through and flicks out of his mind already. As it looks like we might have... No, he wasn't AFK. He was just stuck in his shoes, not even able to move as Signify just watches that one head over his face, and Penn Trafford take the 1-0 lead.
A reverse 45 flick to start the series off. It's Penn Trafford taking that very first goal here. Let's see if they can continue that kind of action as we see Richland on the offensive side. Can they convert it into a goal? Signify losing all the momentum in his hand. You see Rai going up high with the ball here. Does have a flip reset. Decides not to use it at the moment. An opportunity for the offensive side to take the second goal. They hit the post, but not for the second time. It's Burb securing the second goal here for Penn Trafford.
Yeah, and they're just so quick to it. They know where the ball is going to go, so they can position themselves accordingly before it's even passed to that spot. Great team coordination, great execution, perfectly placing these simple touches. They're not overcomplicating anything. I'm already incredibly impressed by what I've seen so far from Penn Trafford, and Rise coming off the ceiling to try and make it look all the more impressive, but is not going to be able to get it to go. Instead leaves Burb alone in a 1-versus-1 situation, but TZM has so little boost that he's not really going to be much of a threat in that scenario, and so Penn Trafford remain at a 2-0 lead.
And with the way they're playing Happy, I would not be surprised if they manage to make it 3. Trying to keep possession to themselves for the longest amounts of time here as we see Burb trying to take possession here. Does manage to get it past 1. The 15 doesn't go his way, and that gives an opportunity to Richland to cut this lead in half. Can they do it? It doesn't seem like it. Rai has possession, but the save comes in from Signify. They haven't been able to get out of their own half, and that is a crucial part here. Bird beating everybody to the ball. However, the ball still going from one corner to the other. No third goal yet, but the emphasis on yet as Burb comes in with the third right as I say it, and that is a 3-goal lead for Penn Trafford.
As if on command, Burb is able to sneak one under the crossbar and just shove that one past the entire defense. And I don't think it was that Richland were necessarily not in the right spots. They just weren't oriented properly to really do anything about that. They weren't facing it. They didn't have enough boost. They just have been put under so much pressure by Penn Trafford that they really don't know what to do. Just kind of left looking aimless in front of their own net, where you should be looking more sure than ever. Richland just look like fish out of water at the moment because Penn Trafford just are completely not letting them play the video game. J-Dog's going to try and play the video game a little bit, but it's not really going to go too well. Burb gets an awkward touch, but his teammate's there to make it okay. Rye does step up, and then Burb eventually able to take it back down the field. And much like we've spent a decent amount of this time, it's in the orange half once again.
So right now, that does seem to be the case here. Xavier taking this one up high, beating multiple players to the ball, and taking this one into the back of the net. And Xavier, not the first time, takes yet another goal here against Richland.
Yeah, Xavier once again able to put a goal through for Penn Trafford, and we look to be in the makings of a blowout at the very least in game number 1. Richland not even able to get halfway through, or barely able to get halfway through the game. And they've let up their 4th goal. Xavier looking to make it 5, and just everybody on the goal line, but nobody able to step up to Xavier. He tries to give him opportunities, but just jukes him at the last second and sends it through for a 5-0 lead.
A 5-0 lead, and we still got 2 minutes remaining here in game number 1. Richland, well, they have to step it up one way or the other. They've got to switch it up. They've got to find a way to get out of their own half and apply some pressure. I mean, securing goals is still far-fetched as of right now. Applying pressure is what they should be aiming at. Can they do it? We will find out soon enough. As of right now, it seems like Rye might just be on the right track to get yet another goal for Penn Trafford.
I mean, yeah, they continue to do it, and at this point, Richland is just so stuck in their own net, they don't even, like, try. They do the kickoff, they try and play a little bit for a small amount of time, but they barely even attempt to keep it out of their own half. They're just taking whatever boost they can and thanking the other team for being so merciful as to allow them to get a corner boost or a penny or whatever they're able to find. But it feels like for the past minute, I've just constantly been seeing Richland, all 3 players sitting in their own net, waiting for the Penn Trafford shot, and that's not really working because it's not an effective defensive strategy. If you want to try and stop the bleeding, you really got to try and get out there and make plays happen, as opposed to just putting all your eggs into the basket of just making sure they can't make a play by sitting in your goal, because they'll be able to just send it right by you. Penn Trafford is a talented enough team to the point where if you're all in front of net, they'll sneak it in anyways, and Burb does it again. Richland all stuck inside the box, or at the very least mostly stuck inside the box, and Burb's just gonna knock it over everyone to make it another goal on Richland's net. And it's how long can they keep this going, Penn Trafford?
Well, it seems like in Penn Trafford's word, the answer seemed to be as long as the clock hits 0. That seems to be what the plan here is for Penn Trafford's side. As we see, with only 60 seconds remaining, Penn Trafford, they have not turned the pace down. They continue to apply tons and tons of pressure as they want to extend this lead even further, spending fear down the opponents and making sure that the next game they have all the momentum in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, it's not even all the momentum in the world. You can't really get too much momentum. They're 7 for 8 on their shots today. Rye has 2, and then the other 2 both have 3. That makes for 8 shots, and they've got 7 goals. So that just about goes to show how many opportunities they've been having, and not just how many opportunities they've been given, but how many they've put away, as Rye nearly puts that one away, except nearly it was in his own team's net. Unfortunately for Richland, though, they will not be gifted the Brazil. Instead, that shot's on course to go through. Rye, though, hits it off one corner, then smacks it to the next one. Wants to make sure that every corner of the net, including the post and the crossbars, is getting involved this game. Even his own net. If Richland won't be able to take the shots, Rye's going to do it for them and then tries to drop that down, but the 8-0 is denied. Xavier, though. I sat on my wire. My microphone fell over. You know what
Well,
happens.
with that, yeah, it happens. I've seen it happen before, trust me. But I believe with that was the first game here, Penn Trafford taking it in a 7-0 clean fashion, as we see a total of 10 shots coming in from Penn Trafford, converting 7 of those, while on the Richland side, getting a shot at only a single one. So, as of right now, this does seem like a bit of a one-sided matchup, with Penn Trafford having all the possession in the world and, of course, all the mechanics that they need in order to dominate this game home.
Yeah, every single player for Penn Trafford was within 4 shots of one another. 42 the most shots that anybody had, and 38 the least. And nobody on Richland was even close in terms of how many shots they had. They didn't even get anybody into the 30s, let alone the 40s. So there are only so many ways that we can emphasize just how much of a blowout that last game was. Credit where it's due, fantastic game. But fortunately for Penn Trafford, you go into second game and you have all the momentum in the world, like you said during that last one. But Richland, I don't even know what to say. They've got to figure it out. Maybe they just need a little time to wake up. Maybe they just need to change their play style. They just got down a little too much, a little too early, and kind of just felt like they couldn't really catch back up. And so, why even bother? Maybe they'll come to the second game looking better. Who knows? They're going to have to, because that last game was entirely Penn Trafford.
That does seem to be the case here. Now heading on into game number 2. So far, Penn Trafford have dominated the competition, but it seems like we have a bit of a switch up coming in from the Richland roster, as we see a sub stepping in for Xavier.
Did they? Oh no! Oh yeah, from Penn Trafford made the substitute. They've got Project Solus in, and Rye already stepping up to make big plays. It's going to be the same Richland roster we saw last game with Signify, Random, and J-Dog, and well, it's going to be the same dominant force of Penn Trafford that we seem to have seen last game, as Rye uses up all of his boosts, but for a worthy cause of getting that 1-0 lead in 12 seconds.
Seems like Xavier has decided to sit this one out, giving Project Souls the opportunity to get some experience on the field here. And so far, well, Penn Trafford are off to a great start, getting that first goal. Rye might just be on his way to get the second one as well, but it hits the post. J-Dog gets it up high. Project Solus does get it past one. That's a good clear. However, Bourbon needs to make yet another touch to head on into the counter-attack. Pope's taking his very sweet time with the ball here. Taking it up high, sending it down center over to Rye. We got Rye going up high with the flip reset. An opportunity for a shot. Denied by the defense. Solus does have a 50 going his way. J-Dog, pretty good save as well. Rye putting a shot on target. Unfortunately, there is not enough power on that one, and Richland is only down by 1.
Yeah, Richland does, off the rip here, look a lot better than they did last game. They really are getting out of just their goal. They're not just sitting in the net, waiting in the box for shot opportunities to come through. They're really trying to compete with Penn Trafford for the ball, for possession, and really contest them when they're taking shots before the shots even come through. They're trying to meet them at the ball, force these 50-50s, and it's already working wonders for them. Other than that early on goal from Rye, it was pretty much a byproduct of the kickoff, if you will. It was so close to the kickoff that you could pretty much not quite call it a kickoff goal, but just about the closest thing you can get to a kickoff goal without being a kickoff goal. And Penn Trafford, that's the only goal they've scored. It's been a minute 30 since. Looking for more, though, are Burb and Rye, but they're not going to be able to find anything. And it's back into the blue half, possibly an opportunity for Richland.
Opportunity for Richland, but we haven't even finished the sentence. It's Penn Trafford heading right back onto the offensive side here, with Project Solus picking this one up, sending it down center, facing multiple players at the same time. Burb needing to work twice as hard with only half the game remaining here. It seems like Penn Trafford will continue to maintain that 1-goal lead so far. Can they make it 2?
That's the question on everyone's minds, and at the moment it looks like they're getting close, but they can't quite crack that second goal. They can't quite crack this Richland defense, which exact opposite of what we would have said last game. So very proud of the progress that Richland have shown already. Is Rye looking for some flip reset plays off the roof. Not going to be able to make it work, though. Did look stylish, as Penn Trafford stuck in their own half at the moment. Rye going to have a chance to clear things out, though. Only needs to be Random, 1 versus 1, tries to sneak it by quickly, but Random was more than prepared for that. And now it's Solus up at the roof. Big save there. J-Dog able to keep things alive for Richland, still remaining at only a deficit of 1. But it's likely that that's not going to be the last shot on goal we see from Penn Trafford, but it's not going to be the last save we see from J-Dog as he makes another one. Bird coming through. What a save that is as well. J-Dog can't be stopped on the goal line, and Penn Trafford looked unstoppable last game, but this time around Richland want things to be different.
They want things to be different. They have done things differently as well. Only 90 seconds remaining here, only down by 1. At the moment, Penn Trafford on the right track here, but gotta watch out for Richland. They have been doing a wonderful job, and let's see if they can make the comeback.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, actually. Bird misses that shot, and that's going to give an opportunity to make the save, but whoever it was on the goal line, not able to stand up tall. It looked like they just missed it there. It was Signify. Oh, he didn't quite have the flip on it. Unlucky. Must have been sticking his stick the wrong way, or possibly just a little bit of a misinput. Whatever it was, unfortunate for Signify, and that means Richland, in spite of all the hard work they've put in, have yet to get a goal and are now down 2 with only 1 minute remaining. As you see the words flashing in big bright letters, 1 minute left for Richland to possibly pull this one back, though it does look to be worsening. Not as bad as last game, but not quite as good as it could have been.
We got Project Solus here on the ball, looking to send it over to Rai. And with only 40 seconds remaining, Happy, that is plenty of time to hold on to this 1-goal lead. Well, I was about to say 2-goal lead. Make it a 1 as Random. Right position, great time to send this one onto the back of the net, and that is exactly what he was looking to do. Only a 1-goal lead here between Richland and Penn Trafford. So with only 35 seconds remaining, we got Richland plenty of time to make this comeback.
Ooh, and they're already threatening as they win that kickoff decisively, but it's Rai taken back down to the other end, wants to go for a flick instead. Doesn't quite get a lot of height on it. Looked like he might have been looking for some kind of air dribble. Whatever he wanted, it wasn't all the way through. Solus now in the corner with 15 seconds left, able to get an extra touch on that and send it past Random. Now Rai wants to sneak this through. Can't quite get a goal, but that possession established might just be more than enough. And if it wasn't enough to keep it in the orange half, why not tell Bird to send it all the way through off that such a high pass? And there was enough boost to get to it on some of the members of Richland, but I suppose they just didn't think it was a threat. At least not at that point in time, but it always is a threat when Burb is able to go for a shot on a ball in a position like that. 3 seconds left, and technically can still happen here because J-Dogs put it through, and Richland has 2 seconds to score a goal.
Well, just like that, this game got a lot more interesting and a lot more intense as I would have imagined. Only a 1-goal difference here between Penn Trafford and Richland. Who would have thought? Going from an 0-7 scoreline to a 3-2 scoreline here, where the ball's gonna hit the ground at 0 seconds. That's Penn Trafford taking game number 2.
They take it the same way they took game 1, except the way in which they took it was very, very different. Much more touches this game from Richland. Everybody other than Rai was in the same kind of general area code in terms of in terms of numbers of touches, but then Rai is in a completely different area code. 67 touches, next highest across the whole lobby was 31 from J-Dog, including 5 saves from the man. Highest score of anyone in the lobby. So J-Dog really doing the most to try and make sure Richland are a threat in game number 2, and they looked leagues better than they did in game number 1. They kept it so close, and I'm actually disappointed they weren't quite able to pull things off, but unfortunately for Richland, it is now a 2-0 deficit, and you've seen 2 different iterations of this roster from Penn Trafford. You've seen the one with Project Solus, and you've seen the one without Solus, and they did look a little lower quality when they put him in, but that might have also been because they felt like they were able to freestyle. They didn't have to give the respect to their opponent. Penn Trafford, though, have now been commanded to give that respect because of how close that last game was and how well Richland played defensively, in particular Jay.
And well, here in this game number 3, we saw Richmond making a bit of a comeback here in game number 2. What's to stop them from making this a comeback? It is something that they can actually win. Let's find out if Richmond has what it takes. Going up against Penn Trafford. Penn Trafford currently sitting at match point. Well, we got Richmond still trying to get a piece of that man.
Yep, Richland just want to get something. Well, the last series we had on this stream was a 3-0 as well. The one before it, I know, was anything but a sweep, as Flair will tell you. But still, 2-0 lead from Penn Trafford. They're looking to make it the second sweep in a row, and Project Solus steps up to make it said second sweep consecutive, as Project Solus sneaks that one by the whole defense, and it looks much like the goals that we were seeing in Game 1, where people are in the right spots per se, but they can't quite react in time. They're not quite oriented in the proper directions, and it's all just a recipe for disaster, as Rye's going to make it another one off of the kickoff. 2-0 Penn Trafford.
2-0 currently for Penn Trafford here, taking yet another goal from the kickoff, coming in from Rye. Happy. It's only been 20 seconds, just like that. Penn Trafford's up by 2. Once again, heading into this third game here had to be huge in terms of momentum, and the mental action needing to be taken from the Bridgeland side. Unfortunately, it seems like Penn Trafford have continued breaking through and finding goals again and again, finding wins in the series.
Yeah, they do such a good job through the early part of the series, just establishing that dominance and then continuing it just enough. And here, they've seen Game 2 and they've said, all right, we are not leaving you any room to make this a close match, to make this a close series as a whole. We just need that comfortable space. And they are able to just say, we want space, we don't want this to be close. And all of a sudden, it's not as close as it was last game. 3-0 already within the first 50 seconds. Penn Trafford getting the same number of goals they had in the last game as a whole, and also letting up nothing to Richland quite yet. This looks like a completely different Richland team and a completely different Penn Trafford team than we saw in Game 2, very much more like the teams that we saw facing off in Game 1.
Well, still got plenty of time here in game number 3. Penn Trafford up by 3 goals here. Let's find out if Richland are going to spend some time on the offensive side. We see Rye picking this ball up, has control as well, looks for the bump. He doesn't even need the bump. Burb's going to hit this one right onto the back of the net. The defense was there. We can see the players around, however, nowhere near the goalpost, and that is what's going to result in Richland going down by 4 goals.
Yeah, Richland really just getting anxious. They're not feeling good about it. They were so close that last game, only to be so far so quickly in game number 3. You can tell it's doing a number on them. The mental is not working as well as it has in the past for Richland, and they're getting over aggressive. They're getting overly anxious to get something through. Anything, any kind of sign of life is all that they're asking for at the moment, but they're getting nothing done. Still 3 minutes to go, but it feels like this game is all but over in spite of the drastic length of time we still have remaining.
Does seem to be the case with 3 minutes still left here in this game, but it seems like Penn Trafford have already called it a day, taking 4 goals. Taking a 4-goal lead here. Let's find out if they can make it 5. Penn Trafford. Oh, great bump coming in from Signify there. Richmond should manage to take possession. However, Signify ends up rotating around the ball, and that gives possession back to Penn Trafford as they go up high into the air. It's a shot coming in from Burb, and it's not the first time, but Burb has risen up to the occasion, getting the perfect shot on target off a great pass from Rye, and taking the 5th goal for Penn Trafford.
And it's a shame because we've seen a lot of close, individual situations where Richland might be able to make something happen. We've seen a lot of really good goals, but unfortunately, all of the single goals that we're seeing that look so cool and would be such a cause for excitement normally have all been from the same team. And when you see so much of that, it gets demoralizing. Not just for the players, but also to watch. I'm not particularly rooting for Richland or Penn Trafford, but you hate to see it from Richland. They've just had a really rough go of things so far in Game 3. And if only they could just live up to that immense potential they showed in the game before this one, that second game, I'm sure that was the team that they looked like a lot more often in their Week 1 victory. But, the squad they've trotted out this week, maybe it isn't their starters, maybe they're just having a rough day, or maybe Penn Trafford is just that good, because it has not been close outside of the brief amount of time that we thought that they might stand a chance, Richland, in game number 2.
Yeah, 7-goal lead here in game number 3. Happiness, it does seem to be the case that Penn Trafford is pretty much on the right track to take this game in a 3-0 fashion, but I want to ask you what comes next year for this team.
Well, for Richland, I feel like you just got to look this over, maybe acknowledge a couple mistakes here and there, but just forget about it. You can't base your expectations off of this. This is more than just you're having a rough day. This is just Penn Trafford being at a level that you can't really reach yourselves at the moment. And it is unfortunate to say that, but that comes as just kind of a part of high school play. You get players at wildly different levels, even on the same exact teams, let alone on different teams. So there will be times when teams like Richland will play against teams like Penn Trafford, who are just seem to be at a higher level, seem to be at a higher rank, but unfortunately, that's just kind of a part of how the high school leagues go. This Richland team already was able to win a game, so they've shown that they have the potential to make some, real damage happen. You just need to get this game off your minds and just focus on improving day by day, week by week, individually as much as you can, but also working with the teammates on the cohesion, on the coordination, and just really making sure that in future games, when you get down 1 goal, 2 goals, maybe a few goals, that you don't get down mentally, and the morale of the team really sticks out, because you got to be willing to make the comebacks happen, even though in some situations like this one, you really didn't stand much of a chance once you got down 3-4 goals against a team as talented as Penn Trafford.
Well, it's a 9-goal scoreline, currently about to hit double digits. If they're not stopped, it's Burb. We got Rye on the ball here, and he's just going to walk the ball in the back of the net, making it a double-digit scoreline. Just like that, with 47 seconds still remaining. Happy, I won't be surprised if they take this to 15, considering how they're playing. 5 goals, 15? It still seems pretty likely.
I mean, that could happen. I'm gonna guess 12. I say they only get 2 more. I don't know. I mean, at the rate they've been scoring so far, I think 12 or 13 is like what they would average at the moment, but I mean, hey, we'll just have to be along for the ride. It's a 6-shot, 6-goal game for Rye, a double hat trick without missing a goal. Sounds like just about the best game you could have imagined. But, I mean, hey, that's just kind of a day in the life. Rye's been the MVP really throughout this whole series, though Burb has been definitely stepping up a ton on the offensive side. I would definitely say that Rye has earned the right to win the MVP this week, but really all of Penn Trafford stepping up and playing at a high level. And look at that, we start talking about how many goals we think PT will be able to reach, and all of a sudden they haven't scored any in the last 45 seconds. A nice little...
We should have done this sooner.
Yeah, exactly. A nice little peaceful 45 seconds to end things off for Richland, but it was anything but peaceful for the first 4 minutes and 15 of that final game. And just, yeah, we don't really need to talk about that one too much. Great game, PT. Richland, let's just forget that ever happened.
Absolutely, still leaving a lot to be desired here. Richland can come back next week, of course, going up against some other schools. Always keep in mind, whenever you go up against teams who are significantly better than you, next time you play up against a team that is of your mechanical caliber, do remember that you will have the upper hand, knowing because you have gone up against a team slightly better than you, and of course that is how you improve in a game of league.
Yeah, I know for me, playing against players who I thought were definitely above my level helped me improve more than ever, especially taking advice from players above you, although I'm not sure that's what's going to be happening in this case. I don't know if Richland and Penn Trafford's players are too particularly close with one another, but I mean, hey, playing with, playing against, and learning from players that are better than you is how you improve to someday get to that level. And, a nice lesson taught to Richland today, albeit maybe a little bit overkill at times from Penn Trafford, choosing to get to the double digits in that final game. But, they're just proving that to every other team in the league, we are dangerous, we are a threat, and we cannot be messed with. So Penn Trafford do go to 2-0. Unfortunately, it's a 1-1 scoreline for Richard. 1-1 record through the season so far for Richland. And we've got one final game coming up at the very end of the night. It's going to be 6:30, so we've got a decent bit of a break coming, but make sure to be back for that one on TEC Rocket League. everybody, and welcome back after that, decently long break because the last series went so quickly. We had to wait for everybody to be prepared for their 6:30 matchup, but it looks like everybody is ready to go. It is Greater Altoona CTC up against Westmont for our final game of the night, and we are so excited to get into this. At the very least, I know I am. I don't want to speak for Flater, but at the same exact time, I think I can. Flater, how hype are we to get into it?
I'm extremely hyped. Greater
right.
Altoona, one of the most prominent teams in Division One Rocket League. So seeing them here on the field again, even after a week, it is absolutely a blast. Coming in with the stats of 1-0 in the standings, and Westmont sitting at 0-1. So both of these teams are looking for a win of their own. Greater Altoona, if they take it, that is 2-0 for them, and Westmont will be looking for that 1-1 scoreline. Let's find out who takes the win here.
Yeah, this is different from the games that we've been watching all day. I can't speak on the first one. I wasn't there for that, but we've only really seen games where both teams have had wins in the win column already. I don't know, Flater, was the first game what were the records in the first game? Do you remember?
So for the first game, Carmichael's and Winburn, both of the teams were looking for their very first win.
Okay, yeah. So
setting at 0-1 and 0-2.
Right. So this is the first time we're coming into it with two teams at two different records. So that would be evidence to the fact that maybe this will be a little less even than the series we've seen before today. But, I mean, number one, the last series we saw was a little bit of a blowout in the nicest way. But not just that, but also anything can happen in the first couple of weeks. It takes a very long time before you can really look at the records of these teams and say, all right, that's more or less indicative of their skill level. It's going to take a long time, and maybe this will be a game that starts to balance these records out. Maybe one of these teams got a little bit too free of a game in week one. Greater Altoona played against a team who they were vastly better than. Maybe Westmont played against a team like Penn Trafford or something like that, a team who's really, really talented, and maybe they might come into this game the better side, but we'll have to wait and see until the very end of this series. As for now, we're locked into our final B5 of BO5 of the day, Westmont versus Altoona. And already it's action.
And, well, didn't even finish the sentence here, and Altoona coming in hot here, taking the very first goal of the pass from Mr. Shimp. And I believe it's Mortician Men taking that very first goal here, 95 kph in miles. I'm not sure what's that in miles on the other side of the globe here, but 10 seconds into this one, we got a first goal coming in from Altoona. And this is the team that we were talking about, the most prominent team here in Division 1, and already sending waves down in this very first matchup. Look with the second one as well, but Westmont managed to take that possession here. We got Ty Hall in the corner, picking this one up, sending it over to Royal Adventurer. Gotta be careful with this touch here. Mortician Men sends it back for a back pass. Mr. May is gonna pick this one up off the sideball. An opportunity for a shot on target. The double touch doesn't connect. He's gonna hit the backboard, and with that, the second goal almost comes in. Altoona, they're looking for that second goal, but look at the amount of pressure that they've applied here. It's not coming through just yet. Westmont holding on that defensive line. We got Mortician Men now. Off the sidewall here, a bit of a double commit coming in from Mr. Chimp, and Mortician Men as well, putting it into the bottom right corner, and the second goal comes in for Greater Altoona. That is only a minute into the first game, and the amount of pressure applied by Altoona is what we see teams applying to the other in a full game. So it just goes to show what this team is capable of mechanically, as well as thinking about the mental aspect. The communication on this team has been phenomenal so far, but let's have a look at what else they can do. Westmont trying to send this ball back to the midfield here, do succeed, but cannot keep it back for long. Mr. May looking with this pass down center. Ty Hall comes in with a very decent save there, sending it right back onto the blue half. We got Mr. Chimp on the ball here. One corner to the other, looks for the pass over to Mortician Men, taking control of the ball here, flicking it high. Mortician Men goes up as well, and that was a bit of a bump coming in from the teammate. Mortician Men goes for the save on the opposite side of the net. Not sure what happened there.
Here. That's fine.
But still managed to keep possession, sends it back on the orange net. Mr. May cannot convert it, but Westmont head back onto the offense. Well, that's a pretty decent touch there. Can you send it over to your teammates, though? He almost does. Royal Adventurer takes advantage of it, gets it past one Mr. Chimp, and I believe that is Missy. Both of them doing a phenomenal job in holding down the line here at the blue side, heading at light speed
Dude.
onto the orange side of the field, where Mortician Man is ready to take yet another goal for Greater Altoona. Halfway into this game, Altoona
Oh my
is
god,
already up by
Discord
3.
isn't working. Nope, I'm gonna fucking task manager that. Was supposed to be muted there.
Next kickoff here, Greater Altoona on the orange side of the field. Mr. May has possession, sends it over down center. Mr. Chimp helps in the process. Mortician Man now looking for this pass down center, and I really love what I'm seeing from this team here. None of these players are just shooting the ball on target. Every single touch made by each and every one of these players has been with full intent, and that is what gives us an idea as to what this team is capable of. The communication is on point, sending it down center once again. Mr. May has the booster as well. Mortician Men in possession, pass down center. Mr. Chimp is there to pick this one up, but the double commit is going to result in the ball heading back into the corner. Oh, that's a pretty good bump there, Mr. Chimp. Will he get the open net? He almost does, as the double touch doesn't go through. It keeps hitting the bar again and again. And with 100 seconds remaining here in this game, Altoona continue to apply tons and tons of pressure. We see Westmont having some amount of boost to work with, but boost is not enough to get out of your own half. You need that momentum, and when Altoona keep possession for such long periods of time and they apply so much pressure, well, you can kiss that momentum goodbye, because as of right now, Altoona seem to be dominating the competition with their bumps and aggressive plays, and now they're up by 4. More than 20 seconds left on the clock here. Mortician Men gonna be sending it over. I'm gonna be trying to send it over to pass down center. Let's see if he can pick this one up. That's a pretty good touch there, but an even better touch comes in from the defensive side. Oh, look at that. Taking the ball high up into the air here. Royal Adventurer, however, manages to keep this ball under control. Looking for a bit of a back pass over to his teammate. Cannot make something out of it yet, but Mortician Men is gonna do it for him. A shot on target, the pass of Mr. Chimp. Actually, both of these players just having a collective effort on bringing this ball down center field. The third man on defense just not ready to pick this one up. Four seconds remaining here. The 5-goal lead still pretty much intact for the Altoona side. Mortician Men is going to be taking this one up high once again, and every single time these players take the ball up into the air, that is wasting precious time for the Westmont side, who have barely been able to have any kind of possession on the field. Mr. May on the right track to send this down center. Mr. Chimp picks this one up, and the passing plays do come to fruition as the ball still manages to be in possession of the Altoona side. With 0 seconds, the ball's about to hit the ground, which it almost does, but Westmont look to find a consolation goal here. Cannot find it quite yet. Altoona are going to be taking the first game of this best of 5 series in a 5-0 fashion. We see Mortician Men running a total of 4 goals with 6 shots on target, 4 coming in from Mr. Chimp as well. Altoona is an absolute banger performance, a total of 15 shots, and Westmont still leaving something to be desired here on the offensive side. I mean, well, on the bright side here, you know, if you think about it, that is 15 shots taken by Altoona, out of which only 5 were scored. So Westmont, the defense is there, but we still got to figure out how they can use that to send them back into the counter-attacking position. Westmont are looking for their very first goal here. Let's find out if the second game will do them any better.
I'm back. My internet is working again, finally. Apologies for that technical difficulties during the last one. Actually, it wasn't even my internet. My internet was fine. I just wasn't able to join the one voice call I needed to join. I could join any other one. It was perfectly fine. You know, sometimes technology just doesn't like working. But you know what? We're back just as good as ever, ready to get into the second game. And I'm not leaving Flater out to dry twice today. The first time I wasn't quite prepared to cast. I was called in as an emergency substitute, but I can't do that to the boy twice in one day. We got to be here and finally prepared. Hopefully, all is well as we get into the second game of the series. And well, that one was quite fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, a 5-0 scoreline here coming in from Greater Altoona. And I told you, Happy, this is the team to look out for. Mortician Men, Mr. Chimp, and Mr. May doing tons of damage on the field there. Now heading on to the second map, a beautiful one as well, a relatively new one, Sovereign Heights. And let's find out if Westmont will have any different luck here.
Yeah, hopefully for their sake they will. You never like to see a series start off with such a dominant game 4-1. But I mean, definitely fun for Altoona, as this isn't going to get any less fun for Mr. Chimp, coming off the roof in the battle bus and sending one through already for Greater Altoona, as Mr. Chimp perfectly places that one just off to the side. And I believe that was King Foxy in the net, who wasn't quite able to reach it, but whoever it was for Westmont, not getting a save and not able to stop the Altoona attack from taking a 1-0 lead after just 21 seconds.
Just 21 seconds into this game, we already got a single goal being secured by Altoona here. And look at that Mortician Man. You know, he doesn't want to slow it down anytime soon. He sends it over to Mr. May here, back into the midfield. Possession opportunity for Westmont as they do get it past multiple players. But Mortician Man is going to get the touch. That's going to recover them and give them some space to work with. The ball hit into the bottom right corner, but the boost is, the momentum is just there to prevent it from going in. Mortician Man with a flip reset does get it past once, sending it over to Mr. May here. And that gives you an opportunity to Altoona to get out of their own half and send them right back onto the counter-attacking position. It's Mortician Man looking for a bit of a double touch. It goes a little too wide there, and Altoona still managed to hold on to that one goal lead.
Yeah, and they've got so much pressure on at the moment, but King Foxy looking to just take all of that pressure and put a shot away in the other direction. However, Altoona not quite letting that happen. They had so many shots in a row there, Altoona. The Triple M squad of Mr. Chimp, Mr. Meh, and Mortician Men. Actually, more like Quadruple M when you think about Mortician Men. You got two of them in there, but that's neither here nor there. Is Mortician up to the ceiling with it almost. Actually leaves it down. Shot attempted by Mr. Chimp, but it's a little too high. Might have a follow-up opportunity, but Foxy's there. And eventually the King is able to knock it out. And with the help from Royal Adventure, seems to be a full house of a defensive stand there from Westmont. And more opportunities to come from Altoona, but at least they're able to hold it to just a 1-goal lead for now. And they might even be able to get one back in the other way, but the shot's not on. The angle not there. And an attempt from Royal Adventure comes and goes without a goal for Westmont.
Oh, that was so close there. You hate to see it. Royal Adventure would have been able to take that first goal, but it comes in from Mortician Men instead. The second goal coming in from Greater Altoona off of a phenomenal pass from Mr. May, elegantly put on to the back of the net by Mortician Men, getting that second goal lead here and half the game remaining. Happy, and it seems like Altoona want to have a pretty similar scoreline as last time.
Yeah, it seems like they do, and it seems like the will of Westmont is not quite enough. But you know what they say, if there's a will, there's a way. So not out of it yet are Westmont, not by any sense of the term. So long as they want it, they've still got a chance. But it looks like Altoona definitely just stand a better chance, at least at this point. Big clear, though, from Royal Adventure. Could possibly be threatening. Similar clear last time, wasn't quite scored on, and this time around, not even allowed to get a read on it. Good touch on the back wall by the defense from Altoona. And they get it back into the orange half quickly without too much stress.
And look at that by Mortician Man. He knows that the ball's going to be picked up by the third man here, so it's going to take a little bit of time being passed down the center. So he takes down the striker with that aggressive play, and these are the kind of demo plays that we were talking about in the early series as well. This is the kind of aggression that you'd want to see from a team. who's as mechanical as Greater Altoona, and it doesn't get any better than this. A minute and 40 seconds remaining here. See Greater Altoona continuing to maintain possession. Mr. May looking to put this one into the back of the net with that double touch attempt. Royal Adventurer, however, comes in clutch, gets the save. Mortician Men with Mr. Chimp, a bit of a pinch pass. Can they result it in a goal? Though it's off the bar, it's the goalpost, and it's a classic shot towards the backboard.
Yeah, shots on everywhere, but not quite through yet for Greater Altoona, as wherever they are, the shots are either off or, well, if they are on, they're getting saved. Westmont actually putting up a phenomenal defensive stand there and showing signs of life on one end of the field, but once it gets into the blue half, they don't really seem to be coming alive. Matter of fact, the exact opposite of it, as only a minute left, and they're going to have to generate some kind of offense here. But Meh just wants offense for his own team, looking to move it forward. Leaves it for Chimp, who leaves it for Mortician Men, but misses the opportunity. And now, in spite of the fact that Ty Hall's missed it, could still be chances to clear for Westmont, but no, they don't really clean up well enough, and how about the opportunities they get just afterwards? It's a little too late, and Greater Altoona are really contesting him for it and almost putting it all the way in.
You know, we see this team making such phenomenal saves, but the only problem is not being able to follow this up, follow these shots up, follow these saves up. And that is where most of the high-ranking players struggle as well, over at least a Champ and a Diamond. And we see that happening right now over the Westmont side. Can they adapt to it? Can they make it better? Certainly has improved a ton by the previous game, as we see the clear heading onto the midfield once again. Mortician Men takes control, but takes a little too long to get that flick, but 0 seconds remaining. It seems like Altoona is going to be taking game number 2 as well. And yes, the ball drops to the ground, and Altoona take game number 2 here in this best of 5 series. A much closer scoreline than last time, but Westmont is still stuck at 0.
Yeah, a much better performance from Westmont, but a much better performance than Westmont came out of Greater Altoona CTC. The side that won that game did so for a good reason, and that's because they limited the other side to barely any shots at all. Only 2 saves were needed to be made by Mortician Men, who was able to sneak home the MVP off the back of the double save performance along with the goal, as well as 64 shots, good for easily the most in the lobby, almost double that of the next closest player. It was Chimp with 39. Rough game for King Foxy, only managing 6 touches there. Didn't make as much of an impact as you would like to see. However, still plenty of opportunities going forward for more impact to be made. And I like what I see from Westmont there compared to how it was before that. But what we do need to see from them is more of a willingness to take risks, more of a willingness to make big plays. Because although you might have a closer loss when you're playing more conservative, you're only taking as many shots as the other team found goals through the whole match. You've got to be willing to lose in order to win. And that last game from Westmont just kind of felt like they weren't really willing to lose more than they were going to. So they didn't really have much of a chance at winning. Yes, it was closer, but that doesn't really mean much when you've still lost the game the same way you did in the first one.
And I mean, a lot of it depends on the kind of playstyle that this team is coming in with. Westmont seem to be having a bit of a reactive playstyle here, and against a team like Greater Altoona CTC, well, trust me when I say a reactive playstyle isn't gonna get you anywhere much if you want to match the mechanics or if you want to be at the same level as Greater Altoona CTC. So you gotta be thinking of something new. You gotta be thinking of a more 50 based and demo-based play style if you want to make these games closer.
Yep, and well, off the kickoff, it looked like Westmont might have been making the game closer already. However, that was exactly how Altoona drew it up, but they're not quite going to get exactly what they were looking for, which is obviously the goal. Still scoreless 30 seconds in, as last time we did see a very early goal from Greater Altoona, and then from then on it was really only 1 goal let up by the Westmont defense. This time around, we haven't seen that early goal. If we can see a similar Westmont defense to last time, just with a little bit more willingness to get out of your own half and really make big plays, I think this could be a much better game than we've seen from them all series long, but it's not starting off that way because Mr. Meh as soon as I say we could be seeing big things out of Westmont, shuts down that opportunity. Great
Wow.
pinch pass between both of his teammates, and it's wide open in the dead center of the field. And he'll knock it into the dead center of the net, a 1-0 lead.
And you cannot expect a better pass from her, right? That
Of course not.
pass going in from both of those teammates was absolutely phenomenal. A pinch onto the center field with Mr. May picking that one up once again, making a 2-goal lead. And it's once again a beautiful pass coming in from Mr. Chimp off the ceiling, picked up by Mr. May, sending it into the bottom right corner. And that's just the first minute, Happy.
Yeah, the Mr. connection is firing on all cylinders today, and Mr. Meh is anything but, as he's able to put it all the way through the first 2 times. And that's not just a meh goal, like an alright. Those are a couple of banger goals off some banger passes. And great reads as well, to be sure, as Altoona already have as many goals as they had through the last game in the first minute and 20 seconds. It was off to a little bit of a slower start when you look at just the first 30 seconds, but this game definitely seems to be off to more of an electric start than the last, maybe mirroring more of game number 1, as could be similar to the last series that we saw on this channel as well. One team looks to be the better of the two, and although game number 2 is much closer, games 1 and 3, in this case, if game 3 continues to be like this, we'll have both been much more like blowouts in this series and in the last one we saw before it, but Westmont still very much in the picture as they make that save.
That they are, with 3 minutes remaining here. Mortician Man is looking to make it 3, sends it over to Mr. Chimp, who takes it onto the backboard again. We got the third man here, but he's going to send it a little too wide. Half the game remaining, 2 minutes and 50 seconds precisely, and we see Westmont trying to get out of their own half. Ty Hall trying to be as big of a nuisance as possible in the corner, and it's picked up by Mr. Chimp here, who's looking for a bit of a flip reset pass. Mortician Man getting there a little too soon for the pass. Unfortunately, could not meet the timing, but love to see when players are committed to making such fancy plays. But here we go, back into the midfield, possession currently in favor of Altoona. Mortician Man trying to pick this one up and take it under control, realizes he can't, send it over to Mr. Chimp, who's going from one side field to the other, trying to maintain possession for Westmont, but as of right now, it still seems like Altoona are the ones in charge.
They definitely seem to be, although it has been a pretty decent defensive showing from Westmont again. I think that really is just characteristic of them not really being willing to give up a lot of, space, but like at the same exact time, they're not willing to give up much space on defense, but they're not willing to take a lot of space either. They're just kind of playing where they're comfortable, and where they're comfortable right now is just playing defense and limiting Altoona to as few goals as possible, hoping and praying that one of these clears will be on target. That one could have been an opportunity on the drop back down, but Mortician Men has it under control, and Mr. Chimp not able to, or actually is able to, get in the way, but that's not really what he was going for. Not able to get this shot through. The angle could have been cool, but he doesn't quite score it. Mr. Chimp again has another opportunity. It comes and goes without a goal for Altoona, and now Ty Hall might be able to make something work. But Mortician Men was already all the way back, and now he's going to go for a clear. It's just not looking great for Westmont. They're going to have to pull something out of their hat in the next minute.
That they do, and it seems like the next minute is the death timer here for the Westmont side. Make it a 3-goal lead for Altoona, because Westmont, well, time is running out. Altoona have just taken another goal, and nothing's stopping them from making a few more. So Westmont, it all starts right now. If you have a trump card up your sleeve, if you want to change the outcome of this game, it all starts at this moment. And that is how, that is one way to do it. Royal Adventurer pulls out the kickoff strategy here, cheating it up and getting the first shot on target.
Finally, something goes through for Westmont. At the very least, they can say that they went down fighting and they were able to get a goal, which kind of seems like the bare minimum coming in, but coming out of it, I'd definitely say that's a bright spot for Westmont, because they have the defense to be able to keep competitive with the teams they play against, assuming that the teams they play against aren't even as good as Altoona, because like you said, they're a very competitive roster. They just need to, shore up that offense just a bit more. They need to get out there, get active, and get some offense really going. And I hope that for their sake. By the end of the season, they will have shored that up because it doesn't look like the offense is enough quite yet, as they were able to get their goal, but that just there is Mortician Men finding his team's fourth, as what a goal that is, by the way. Levitating in air for such a long time and reading the pass off from Mr. Chimp. Greater Altoona looked to be sending this one home emphatically and in dominant fashion.
Once again, game number 3 seemed to be following that dominant fashion trend which we have seen in the last 2 games of this best of 5 series. And with only 13 seconds remaining, it seems like Altoona have solidified the win here in this best of 5, taking their overall win count to 2-0, while Westmont will be going down by 0-2. The clock hits 0, and that is all she wrote for this game, unless they secure a goal, and that's gonna be the end of this game here. Mortician Men making it a 5-1 scoreline, pretty similar to what we saw in game number 1, unless, well, it was a 5-0, but close enough. We see Westmont taking 1 goal against Altoona, but that is all they're going to get. This best of 5 series just came to an end with Altoona coming out on top in quite a dominant fashion.
Oh yeah, average of 4 goals per game, 2 games with 5, and then another game they put up only 2, but that still comes out to a nice even 4 goals. Maybe that's why Mortician did it, or maybe it was just to pad the stats. He would have ended up as the MVP either way, unless somebody else put it away, but probably just wanted to lock that one in. A great game from Mortician Men and a fantastic series overall from Greater Altoona CTC in Westmont. No, I mean, plenty to work on and really come away from that series with. Unlike the last series that we saw, which was a little bit more dominant, Westmont really did show that they are a defensively capable team. A lot of the goals that were scored in that last game were kind of scored very much early on or very late into the game. It kind of, once they get scored on once, they get scored on a few times, but they can go 2-3 minutes against a team like Greater Altoona without getting scored on at all. That's not easy to do whatsoever. So credit where it's due to the Westmont defense. They've showed a lot of promise today. I'm very excited to see what they can make happen in later weeks, but for now, it's Greater Altoona who come out of this one 2-0, and Westmont still searching for their first victory.
Once again, congratulations to all the winners here. The first game, Carmichael's going up against Winber, which Carmichael's took in game number 5 with 8 minutes of overtime. Second game, Gateway going up against California, with California coming out on top there. Penn Trafford and Richland. Penn Trafford winning that one. And in the last series, Greater Altoona, props to the winners. And of course, once again, the people who did not secure a win today, it's all a learning curve, still in high school, a part of a league that gives you a platform to learn from some better players. I would be pretty happy about that. Isn't that right, Happy?
Oh, definitely. I always loved opportunities to learn and grow as a Rocket League player. I got big into it when, we were all in lockdown, wasn't really able to do too much else, and that was when I really loved just getting on the game, being able to have something to do. It was a social thing for me as well, and really just be able to learn and grow as a player. But to have an opportunity like this would also have been really cool. Play with a couple of my buddies from school, make some new friends, learn a lot about the game as well, and learn from some players who are a little better than me. Overall, that's really just the mission here on the eSport Company, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and I believe with that, we will be signing off. This was Flater, along with Happiness with me in the casting booth. Girago on production as always, and this was TEC High School Series. Now, signing off.
Mm-hmm.